I cannot fathom. Like, look, I've been married fucking 17 and a half years.
Yep.
I cannot imagine ever going, you know what? Let's
Bathroom
pick a
Tinder.
random person
Random dude.
for you to go have sex with.
Yep.
Like that is beyond the idea here.
Do you know what doesn't get talked about in all this? The effect it has on kids, right? Because let's just say, for the sake of argument, somehow your kids find out something. I feel bad for his kids though right now because, dude, like just like with these OnlyFans models who wind up getting exposed, it's not fair to the kids because they didn't choose that, right? Like, I mean, you want to get teased at school because your dad is a cuck or your mom is a thot. You're fucked.
I mean, I think it should be considered child abuse in some cases, and also some guys really be out here letting Matt from Tinder fuck their girl before they're willing to give a little foreplay. Like that's actually where it's at.
Well, I mean, imagine being an 18-year-old high school. His son is in high school.
Ooh, that's right.
Imagine being in high school, and right now, at this moment, 2021, the new year, all Twitter sphere were, the more right-wing egalitarian Twitter sphere is talking about how your dad is a cuck. Here are pictures of him jumping on a silicone phallus-shaped object. How do you feel about it, Rekieta? Man, how would you feel if your dad was being called out for being a cuckold when you're senior of high school, man? That's horrible.
The interesting thing is you'd feel bad for your dad, but you'd feel worse for yourself, right? Because you're gonna get ruthlessly treated in high school, and there's no recovery. What are you gonna say? No, he's not. Like, but bro, here's the video. Like, they're just gonna pull up the video of your stepmom licking your dad's ass. That's look. If people want to do OnlyFans, if people want to do Pornhub, whatever they want to do, I don't care.
No recovery. No recovery.
If you have kids, never do it. And if you do it, never have kids because fuck you for what they have to go through after that.
Yep.
To me, that's
good advice. That is great advice. How's it going, chat? I am back from my ordeal. If you were following me on Twitter, you know that I went to go for a boat ride and I got abducted by a submarine. I'm back now, but at least the submarine, they gave me curry. It's actually true. They did give me curry from the submarine, the submarine gift shop. But I'm back. I'm back, and it's been a big day. And we got a new toy. Look at this. We got non-practicing lawyer on Twitter. You click on his head and generate a quote. Nerd. Let's have a look. The shower is representative of my firm belief in exploring sexuality with your partner and destigmatizing sex in Kandiyohi County. It was also just fucking funny. And the lie was hilarious. Why it is such a big fucking deal to people. It's a goofy sex toy, so what? These are great. They just, they generate, let's see. Another one. No, for a couple reasons. One, heard they were lunatics. Two, I don't care if people buy chiropractors. You can't just buy chiropractors, Nick. This is ridiculous. But I don't. Three, legal bites is a lunatic. True, but she's doing quite well for herself. I've hung around them in person, and they're complete dummies. Raccoons cannot exist in their presence. Look, I'm gonna have to turn this off. Like the Rekieta quotes are very funny. I think how this works is it takes his real tweets and then like randomizes certain words with it. It's very funny. You can play around with it. You can like click, click, and see what a random one. Let's see what this one is. They care only if they believe they can use your anime against you. They want to extract something: cocaine, lies, theology, etc. Some of these have got to be plants. Who can say? But it was a big day in Kandiyohi County. And the day started off with a bang. People were waiting. I think everyone was expecting some fireworks. There was some pretty funny stuff. 3 funny things happened that I would say in the major. Actually, no, there's more. There's actually quite a lot. But it started off with a $100 super chat to Nobody Likes Melton. It says from rekietalaw, thanks for all the well wishes and the support. Today I have to go do something that is anathema to me because it is the right thing to do. And I have 2 boys to teach how to be men. How do you teach boys to be men? By swapping wives? I don't know about that one. You always been a neutral voice, and that's all I ever asked for. So this is Rekieta's last bastion of free speech and friendship that he has to pay money to talk to, because they don't care if he goes to prison. They said it on their show. They said, we don't care if Nick goes to prison, because they don't. But these are the only people that Nick can be around. He thinks that they're treating him neutrally. They don't give a shit about him. They would see him suffer if it could give them just 1 more minute of tormenting Steel Toe Aaron. And speaking of Steel Toe Aaron, there's been some funny little developments in his case as well. And it sounds like some people told me that he had to pause his show and go call his lawyer for perhaps criminal defamation in a legal filing today from Kayla Rekieta. Of course, Aaron can't talk about Kayla because he has a restraining order against him from her. But to sum it up, this week started off with, it's a fun week. We've got day one, Kayla's hearing in the criminal case. Day two, which is today, I guess it was yesterday for you guys, but it's today for me. Nick had his first hearing, and this is what people believe is an offer of a plea, and also Nick going to plead guilty is the prevailing theory. There is one more case tomorrow, or one more hearing tomorrow before Thanksgiving, and that is going to be the case with Montagraph. Montagraph, of course, he defamed, said he was a pedo, and he has refused to pay the $300 to, it's Stephen Quest, right? Stephen Quest? Okay, I can't remember Monty's real name. But that is going to happen tomorrow. So this may be day one of two of coverage of this before the Thanksgiving event. But we'll start off with something light. It's a little bit light. I think what we'll do is we'll go over this interesting little filing from the one and only Ethan Ralph of the illustrious Kill Stream. He has made a plea to the Candio, well, not Candio, it's Stearns County, right? Stearns County for this one, I believe. But it's in Minnesota. It's all happening in Minnesota. Then we'll take a look at Kayla's hearing, I think, and then we'll go into next stuff. And like there was some stuff on Fish Tank today that I guess we have to go through. But before we get started, Cindy gifted 5 memberships. Thank you very much. Of course, I'll add a new Discord invite link after the stream, as long as people remind me to, because I forget. I believe there was also a member chat before the stream started, but I must have missed it. Oh, it was Biffrins, member for 6 months, says, Safa Baldo, man. There we go. Almost missed it. It wasn't showing up in my stream guide. So thank you very much for the support as we get into. So Ethanol Liver Ralph of the Cal stream. If you remember, he has a nationwide body warrant out for him. So he's in Mexico and he wants to go back to America to see his son Xander, who he goes back once a month to go see. He never goes to see his daughter because fuck women, I guess. I don't know. Cozy Rosie. She's gone and forgotten, I suppose. I don't know what's going on there, but he can't enter America. He hasn't got a passport. He's got a passport card, not exactly the same thing. It means he can't cross he has to do land transfers only. He can't fly. He's no longer a flying pig. He can only walk across state lines. But if he does, he could be remanded into custody in any such court. So, to Your Honor and Honorable Court, my name is Ethan Ralph. I have a nationwide warrant out in your jurisdiction for contempt in court. I live in Mexico. I go to visit my son monthly in California. I cannot visit him for Christmas with this warrant outstanding. Grinch Aaron is preventing him from seeing his son. Of course, it's not really Aaron, it's the court, because what happened is Ethan Ralph decided to restream Aaron's arraignment when he got the revenge prawn charge against him from Kayla. And in a very strange turn of events, he got this warrant, a nationwide warrant out for him, which is somewhat unusual. But apparently warrants don't fold the bullshit, according to the chat. But that's what it is. It's against the court, not Aaron. Although Aaron, I guess, was a part of the story. Apparently, Aaron's just walking along his life, just trying to make his $300 a day or something from the Steel Toe Morning Show. Can we hit the goal, as he says all the time? Begging for it even. He's literally begging for it. But as he goes about his day begging for money and talking about the news and stuff, people just keep trying to get him. There's this whole crew out to get Aaron Eamholt, and they keep slipping on banana peels. He's like Mr. Magoo walking along, like oblivious to them, and then they're just slipping on fucking banana peels. Like Benny Hill music's playing, and they just keep taking L's trying to get him. So it's another win for the toe, but by no action of Aaron's at all. So that's what happened to Ralph. But he has this warrant outstanding, and he can't return to America because he could be detained at the border. I cannot simply fly there and be arrested in St. Paul since I have cats. Yes, he has cats. That's why he can't go to Minnesota. He's very sad, and he doesn't want his cats to die. He has no friends to feed his cats if he goes to prison. And I suppose he doesn't trust his Mexican neighbors not to eat them or something. Who can say? But he has cats. This is the first paragraph. I have cats, Your Honor. Have you considered the cats? And a household to maintain here. A household? What the fuck are you talking about? You can't even clean the piss bottles off your floor. You don't maintain a household. But he claims that he has a household to maintain in Mexico. Basically, this warrant has locked me in Mexico until I get it quashed. Well, you could just go face the music. You could just release the cats into the wild, I suppose. I mean, cats are desert animals, aren't they? Surely they could survive in Mexico. Or he could just, I suppose, find someone to look after his cats for a couple of weeks, something like that. I was hopeful that you could quash the arrest warrant and allow me to appear for a hearing on the matter via Zoom. I am not trying to dodge court proceedings or escape any kind of resolution there. I will definitely attend the hearing and proceed from there, accepting whatever judgment there is. I hope you can see the uniqueness of my situation. Your Honor, it's unique. I've got cats, Your Honor. I run the kill stream. And thus be willing to accommodate his request. And there you go. That came in today. Well, I guess it was like, kind of yesterday. I'm kind of living in the future a little bit. So that is Ethan's update. There's actually a little bit more about Ethan Ralph. A little bit more about Ethan Ralph. He's very upset with wife jacks. So Ethan posted saying, slowly I began to hate wife jack. In the last 30 minutes, I kind of enjoyed it until then. Where is divorce slut jack? This is turning into gynocentric propaganda. So if you're unaware, what this is wife jack. Wife jack is just a meme about a regular ass wife. It's just regular ass wife like this one. The caption for this one said, "Sorry, babe, I can't get off. I can't get up. There's a cat on me." Ralph should be very relatable to this. He can't get up and go to court because he's got cats to look after as well. But it's just a basic ass relationship joke meme. Basically, it's just like your average wife. Look at that. She just wants to sit down, watch TV, drink her coffee, and people are fucking mad at wife jack because it's apparently gynocentric propaganda. I just thought this was funny. It just gave me a bit of a chuckle. But as he said there, where is divorced slut jack? I saw this picture on Discord. I assume it's from Kiwi Farms, but it is very funny as well. You've gone, there you go. There's divorced wife slut jack. Your little Doom edit with the horse. She's loose and she's got a son that Ethan needs to see. All right, that's the pre-show, guys. That's the pre-show. Now we'll get into the Rekieta stuff. I know why you're here. We all know why you're here. All right. We'll start off with the Kayla stuff. We'll start. This is a fucking riot. This is really funny. It's about to get really funny. So be sure to like the stream. Come on, guys. We're just back from our submarine adventure, which I'm not even joking, by the way. Like, I'm not even joking. So I was on my boat. I was on my boat. I was on a ferry, and I'm like, what the fuck? There's an anime girl on my ferry, and I see something on the starboard bow. And I go to take a closer look at the waifu. There's a waifu there, right? And then I'm like, you know what? It's really cold and windy out here. I might go get a fucking cup of coffee. Wait, where is it? And as I go to use my boat vending machine in the inland sea, I turn around, and what do I see? I'm getting literally fucking intercepted by a submarine. I'm not even kidding. So that's what happened. I've been abducted by Captain Nemo for the last few days. That's what it is. That's the real honest to God truth. Very true story. So Kayla Rekieta memorandum in support of a motion. And this is in her criminal case in the 8th Judicial District. Yes, it is a diesel electric. It's a Soryu class or whatever I think Max could tell you. To the above named court, the state and their attorney, Kristen Pierce, in this matter came before the court for contested omnibus hearing on October 28th. It seems like so long ago. I mean, it was like a month ago, right? Not even a month ago. And you know what else is a month away? Christmas. So Merry Christmas, chat. At the Candy Ojai County Courthouse, Wilmar, Minnesota, Shane Baker, Candy High County Attorney, appeared for and on the behalf of the state of Minnesota. Maggie appeared on the behalf of Mrs. Rekieta. That's MS, no R there. Is she single now? I guess that's a question that the chat would be very curious to know. Some people would say yes. No testimony was offered at the hearing. The state offered the application for a search warrant and receipt, inventory, and returned without objection by the defense. The facts. These facts are pretty wild, let me tell you. I've read this already, and I was giggling all the way home. On May 22nd, Deputy Quinn Pomplum of the Candy High County Sheriff's Office applied for and obtained a search warrant for defendant Kayla Rekieta in Minnesota, where she lives. She shares with her husband, Nick Rekieta, and their 5 children. In addition, the warrant granted the sheriff's office the ability to search Nicholas's person. The allegations contained in the search warrant were as follows. Let's get into this. 1. An unidentified reporter heard the following rumors about Rekieta from others in the church. There were concerns about neglect of the children, possible controlled substance use, and a questionable relationship with an additional couple, Aaron and April Imhotep, a married couple. Now, I'm not sure if it would be better if they were unmarried. In fact, it might be worse, but no, it would be equal, I'd say. It's equally worse. The Imhoteps may have been staying with the Rekietas. Well, they were staying in their second trap house, so that's true. The home was in disarray and cluttered. That is going to be turned. We know that's true. The children were hungry, not fed, wearing clothing multiple days in a row, and started smelling. Now, this is corroborated by several people in the church, as well as the detectives on the scene when they went to raid the Rekieta mansion, the Baldo bunker. Were they actually smelly, and were they just in pajamas? Maybe, sometimes kids, have a day or two where they forget to change their clothes. It can happen. But why should we give them the benefit of the doubt when they're in a literal crack den? When they're sneaking out, they can't even go through a single sermon in church without going out for a hit. Why should I believe that these crack addict parents were capable of feeding and clothing their children correctly if they can't even clean their own house? Why should we believe that they are cleaning their kids? Now, the body cam may come out and disprove this. It may support this, or it may be neutral. We don't know, but we are getting closer to the date where that would happen, which is unfortunately, it's been pushed back a little bit more. It's apparently the only win that they can get, but I'll talk about that more as we get into next stuff. Nicholas appeared lethargic, high, or drugged while driving a car around. Now, again, this was corroborated by many such people in the community, and Nick has quite a few speeding tickets where he's been caught multiple times just going over the limit. He's crashed his Mustang. Fortunately, no one was hurt. But he is an erratic driver, even by his own words. He talks about how he likes to go fast, and he doesn't have much sense of self-preservation because he can't even wait a single day to get the correct tires to drive over slick Minnesota roads in his new the Shelby Mustang? I don't know. I don't know much about cars. Somebody in the chat would know, but he got a new Mustang for the Lord Pope Mobile. Nicholas walked out randomly on sermons and was exhibiting behavioral changes. Now, I believe, but I have not seen it myself, that this is also corroborated by video evidence because the church, prior to the Rekietas exposing the community, actually had a live stream. The Mustang, the Shelby GT500. That's it. Thank you very much. I knew it was Shelby something. So yes, the church had a live stream, and an archive, and you can actually see the Rekieta family in the church. And I heard it said, although, like I said, I didn't have the patience to sit through hours of church streams, I guess much like Nick, I suppose. But they told me that he was indeed walking out in these live streams. Maybe he was just going to the bathroom. Maybe he just had some shit food. I mean, he does cook in that dirty kitchen, so you never know. But that's the story, that he walks out of the sermons to get a quick hit because the pastor's much too boring for him. Kayla looks anorexic. Well, I mean, that's true. And Nicholas has recently lost weight. Again, that is true. He did lose weight. Skinny Nick arc. Nicholas had injection or track marks on his arms. Now, let's go through these for a second before we move on to part 2. How believable do we think these are? Let's see. There were concerns about neglect of the children. In my mind, I believe this is 100% true because Aaron had to feed the kids SpaghettiOs, and they were having so much fun being a swinger party that they were indeed neglecting their kids. Look, you can't be there for your children if you're there for another couple, as they were, because they would all hold up in the master bedroom, depriving Sonny of sunlight and cleaning the bathroom floor while they were getting high, watching movies. American Beauty, as I understand it, which is a terrible movie, by the way. Don't let people believe you that it's good. It's not. They were going away on Christmas Eve for Aaron's birthday at the casino, leaving their kids and the grandparents. Yeah, they're neglecting their kids. And they neglected the kids to the degree that the government came and took away their kids for 77 days. So I would rank that as true. Possible controlled substance use. We know this to be true. A questionable relationship with an additional couple. We know that to be true. Okay? The Maltese may have been staying with the Rekietas. Well, this one's, I guess, debatable. They were there quite a lot of the time. And they were at one point talking about moving them into the house. And that was the plan originally, is that there was a second family living in the next door neighbor's house, which is Nick's house, their second house, the trap house, where April's currently living. And they wanted to kick that family out and then sell it to the Imholtes so they could be next door neighbors, buddy, and everything like that. Now, when Aaron left the throuple, or I guess it was the polycule at that point, the thruples with 3, right? When Aaron left at that point, 7 weeks before the raid, very funny that Aaron's getting blamed for everything, even though he left 7 weeks before it all happened. Then it became a situation where they can't get any money for it. They can't get any money for it. Yes, it is a trap home. She can't escape from it as well. Let's see. The home was in disarray and cluttered. This is absolutely true. We know this. We don't know what degree, though. We've seen pictures of Nick's workspace. It's a fucking mess. We've seen his kitchen. It's a fucking mess. He can't even put the cabinet doors on the sink where there's bleach that his children could access because it's the memorial to the unknown handyman that died of pancreatic cancer. Okay. What? Wouldn't you fix the pantry door in his honor because he didn't do the job? Like, it makes no sense. Can't you fix your own fucking door? Aren't you a man? I mean, the funny thing is April was going to fix the countertop door, whatever shit, but she chose not to. She chose not to because she knew how significant it was to Nick. But yes, the house was in disarray and cluttered, but we don't know to just how badly. Again, that's an answer that the body cam could answer. The children were hungry. That is true. Not fed. Well, they were complaining of being hungry, and they did have to knock on the master bedroom. Knock, knock, knock. Daddy, Mummy, can you help us make SpaghettiOs? So I would rank that as true. Wearing clothing multiple days in a row and started smelling. Again, I guess there's no evidence for this just yet. It's just word of mouth. So possibly this is the only one that's in question so far. Nick appeared lethargic, high, or drugged out while driving around. I would rank this as true. Nicholas walked around randomly on stimulants. That is, we know this to be true. Kayla looks anorexic, and Nicholas has lost weight recently. Well, let's take a look. Let me see. Do you think this person looks anorexic? Is this the body of an anorexic woman? I don't know. You tell me. Nicholas had injection track marks on his arms. Now, I never believed in the injectable story. It seemed like scratch marks to me, and I believe that's what it turned out to be. There was no needles found on the property. There was no evidence of injectables, but it is perfectly reasonable to assume that they were track marks. Like, people say, well, you're crazy. It's crazy to assume these are track marks. I just put stuff up my nose, not into my arms. Well, look, if you've got sores on your arms and you're a known drug abuser, then it's not unreasonable to assume those are track marks. Now, as it turns out, they just were bug bites and scratches and probably a result of the cracks. So they may as well be track marks, because if you're scratching constantly because of the drugs, trying to get those bugs out of your skin, they may as well be at this point. I'm not sure it's much better if they're not. But they didn't turn out to be actual injectable scars. So this one is false as far as I know. 2, the application for search warrant was silent on whether the unidentified reporter was a person known to law enforcement. Ooh, could it be Aaron? Is it all Aaron's fault? I guess we'll find out. The application for the search warrant was silent on whether the unidentified reporter was a reliable source. Wow. It turns out they were pretty good. It turns out they were pretty accurate. So I would say that they were. Now, of course, whether they were or not isn't actually material to the search warrant because they're trying to challenge, was it at the time of application fair to assume? Now, I think, yes, it was, but you have to remember that this is what they're arguing in court. Just because it turns out to all be true does not mean that they should have had the warrant issued in the first place. The problem is that everything seems fine in the warrant. That's why they didn't get a Franks hearing. That's why none of their challenges went through. The state didn't even bother to respond to their latest motion. In Nick's case, this is in Kayla's case. I know it's a little bit confusing. There's like these two. There's actually 3 cases going on in parallel for this one criminal event. So it is a bit confusing, but that's their thinking if you're trying to get inside their own headspace, right? Let me see. The application for search warrant was silent on the source of information that Nicholas and Kayla are friends with Aaron Holte. Aaron, further in the document, and April. Deputy Pomplum indicated that he was personally familiar with Aaron Holte's social media presence. It's another fucking win for the toe. He can't keep getting away with it. What the fuck? The officer Pomplum is driving to the Rekieta mansion, watching the Steel Toe morning show. He's a toe bro going to a friend's Nick. How could this keep happening?
You can't keep getting away with it. You can't keep getting.
Yes, it's not just Aaron Holte. It's the famous. I just, as I'm putting chat pointed out, the famous Aaron Holte. Oh my goodness. Was there any mention of Nick's social media presence? No, there isn't. But they know about the toe. They know they're big toe fans. Summer's Eve, taste my beef with it. $2 super chat says, I should have stayed in the woods. Yes, you should have. Thank you for the 2. And Schrodinger's Denny's order for 5, a very fun little name, says, interesting factoid that came in from our friend in the field. Nick doesn't even drive the Lawpoint-mobile. Kayla is his driver, no license. Well, I mean, last time he drove, he got to the court case late. So maybe he just can't even be trusted to drive his own car anymore. Very embarrassing. But who can say? Who can say? All right, let's move on. The application for the search warrant was silent on the source of the information that Nicholas is a social media blogger. Your Honor, if it may please the court, at the time that my client, at the time that the state issued their warrant against my client, they did not consider that my client is indeed a social media blogger. I rest my case. What does they mean by this? What do they mean by this? This is Kayla's application, by the way. This is Kayla's one. The application for the search warrant was silent on the source of the information that Nicholas is known to drink alcohol excessively during video blogs. Come on, why do they keep calling it blogs? I know the court called them blogs initially, but that doesn't mean that you have to do it. You can call them videos. It's fine. You can call them live shows or something. It's fine. Deputy Pomplum viewed blogs created by Nicholas and Aaron and made the following observations. There was a change in Nicholas's appearance from the January 2024 videos to the May 2024 videos, including that he appeared to have lost weight. He did. Appeared tired. He was. And appeared strung out. He was indeed. Consistent with controlled substance users. And you know what? Good fucking call, because they found the drugs. And he was using the drugs on stream. So imagine my shock when they watched a stream of a man using drugs, and then they find the drugs. And then he tests positive for the drugs. Wow, what a surprise twist. I could be writing for Disney with these sort of twists and turns, right? Nicholas's studio was in the basement of his residence. Yes, it's in the Boldo bunker. That's what they call it, the vault. Aaron Holte indicated that he and his wife were getting a divorce. Aaron indicated that he had experimented with drugs. It is important to note that it's kind of silly, but it's not really illegal to be using the drugs. It's just illegal to be possessing them, at least in this case, right? That's an important note. So even if you are caught using them, it's not, you know, it's a whatever thing. But having the drugs, that's a problem. Now, the issue is that they did have the drugs. So it's a non-issue anyway, but I'll just point it out. So if Aaron was doing drugs, well, big fucking whoop. Nobody gives a shit. The video made it apparent that the Imholtes and Rekietas were friends who recently had a falling out. Yeah, I guess you could call it that. I guess you could call it that when you steal a man's wife. The funny thing is the people that are still in the bunker, those that are still washing that shiny baldo of the lube so that they get a turn at the table, the round table, where everyone's equal, except there's an extra second table where some are more equal than others, is that they're saying that Nick is not a cuck. That's what they say. They say that because, well, he stole Aaron's wife. That means that Aaron's the cuck. No, they're both cucks. Nick was in April many times. That makes Aaron a cuck. Aaron was in Kayla many times. That makes Nick a cuck. They're all cucks. It's cucks all the way around. And they may be maybe more than that. They may actually be lovers indeed. There has been implications from Nick that that Aaron has been tasting his secret recipe for the Rekieta 11 herbs and spices. He's said that. He claims he hasn't tasted Aaron's secret recipe, but that Aaron has definitely tasted it multiple times. So who can say? Who can say? Disgusting to think about, but fact may be stranger than fiction in this one, I'm afraid. The video made it apparent that the Imholtes and Rekietas were friends who had recent falling out. In Aaron's video, April appeared tired, lethargic, and strung out. That may just be from reading the Steel Toe chat. We don't know. Apparently, they didn't like it very much because it's a terrible fucking idea to involve your loved one or friends, basically. Well, it depends. Basically, don't expose your loved ones and family to the internet, especially when your sector of the internet is making fun of people, because that's what Nick's job was. Like, he said he was never a law channel. Yes, he was a law channel, but the theme of the law channel was making fun of stupid cases, starting with Maddox versus Masterson, and then Russell Greer, Anime, Rittenhouse, Johnny Depp. It was all just making fun of people with a law flavoring. That's the way it was. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But the problem is, if you decide to make your career making fun of people, when people start to make fun of you, you have to be able to take a joke. You have to be able to take a joke. G. Nicholas and Aaron appeared in the same room during the videos. Yes, it's very awkward to have this as a court, I guess, exhibit, but Aaron was doing a show. Nick showed up his underwear, licked him on the ear, and they also did hot tub live streams together. So the writing was on the wall. The writing was on the wall. Let me see. On May 22nd, Aaron published a video blog insinuating that Nicholas was using controlled substances. He was. That Nicholas needs to get help. He does. And help for his children because of his substance use. Very true. And that there was a video where Nick had a white powdery substance on his nose. On May 21st, 2024, Nicholas put a video blog online that showed him drinking what appeared to be alcoholic beverages, in which he appeared to be under the influence of controlled substances. During the video, Nicholas leaves to use the bathroom and returns with a white powdery substance under his nose. The deputy believed Nicholas was under the influence of a central nervous system stimulant. The deputy believed Nicholas ingested a substance through the navel cavity off screen. Well, look, the way things are going, he might be taking all sorts of cavities off screen. Who can say? Who can say? But yes, this happened. You can verify this if you want by looking at Korg's channel, Backwards Internet, where he has a true and authentic copy of the Rekieta live stream he does here. Let's see. During the video, Nicholas appears to struggle to read the screen. He rambles, and he has slurred speech. Yes. Anime Sucks Cope and Sneed has made it into the legal document filing. There you go. There is no indication contained in the application for a search warrant as to the time of day the video was created. Fuck off. Your Honor, you don't have any idea what time my live stream happened? It could have been. I mean, I guess he could have felt like. Is this like the UK defense where the guy was like, he pre-recorded the live stream? Your Honor, you can't prove that my live stream happened while I was reading the chat in the live stream. That could have been happening at any time. That could have been a pre-programmed chat. Maybe Nick got his kids that are whizzes at Roblox to like type up an anime chatbot so that when anime sucks, cope, and sneed posts in chat and you respond to it 7 times, it is all pre-recorded off stream. You don't know, chat. You don't know. Okay? You can't prove that was a live stream. That live streams could be happening anytime. You don't know what time a live stream happens. Oh my God. The audacity of this filing. It's very funny to me. Lord Maury with a 10 says, live by the baldo, die by the baldo. Also, you sent me down the Chris Chan rabbit hole, and dear Lord. Hey, look, there's some funny stuff going on in the Chris Chan universe at the moment as well. According to Chris Chan on a recent live stream, he has got his Finnish girlfriend pregnant. So the cycle of violence may be continuing for the next generation in the the Chris Chan extended universe, I suppose you could call it. It's funny because, like, if Chris never became popular on the internet, someone said this, I can't remember who, but I was listening to them while I was coming up on the train, and they were saying that, like, because Chris only got a girlfriend because of his internet notoriety. So in a way, this is the internet's baby. The internet is to blame, like it is for most things. So that was a bit fun little quote I heard. But yeah, I mean, what excuse do you have if even Chris Chan can get a real girlfriend who isn't his mother and get her pregnant? All right, where were we? So there was no indication as to what time of the day the video was created, whether the children were under Nicholas's care, or where any of the adults were caring for the children at the home at the time that the video was created. Well, I mean, that's a good question. Were there? I mean, if they're too strung out watching Star Trek and nose deep in mountains of baby powder, how can we know that the kids were being looked after? Kids just look after themselves, apparently. They're fending for themselves in the woodland and the wolves of Minnesota. Deputy Pomplom alleges that Nicholas had been the victim of a swatting. Now, this is where it gets a bit nuts, actually. Actually, is this where they say it? Maybe it's in a different part of it where they say it. This is like really funny. Deputy Pomplom alleges that Nicholas had been the victim of a swatting and that the Kandiyohi County Sheriff's Office had responded to said swatting calls. Deputy Pomplom misstates his qualifications as a DRE. So that's like a drug recognition training, basically, in that he claims to have training and experience in making evaluations of individuals whom he has only viewed in video productions and not personally interacted. Well, look, here's the thing. Deputy Pomplom made a determination that Nick was on drugs. And then Nick was on drugs. So, you know what? Maybe he does have a lot of experience. He certainly has experience now because he looks like he's 1 for 1. Analysis. All right, let's get to the analysis. The US and Minnesota constitutions protect against unreasonable searches and seizures. US Constitution Amendment 4, Minnesota Constitution, Article 1, 10. Law enforcement may conduct a search and seizure upon securing a warrant that is supported by a probable cause and issued by a neutral, detached magistrate, State versus Harris. And then it goes on to quote, unlike proof beyond a reasonable doubt or preponderance of the evidence, probable cause requires only that a probable or substantial chance of criminal activity, not an actual showing of such activity. Harris v. Gates. Oh, no, sorry. It's actually Illinois v. Gates, but whatever. It continues. The task of the issuing judge charged with determining whether probable cause to search exists is simple: to make a practical, common sense decision whether, given all the circumstances set forth in the affidavit before them, including the veracity and basis of knowledge of persons supplying hearsay information, there is a fair probability that contraband or evidence of a crime will be found in a particular place. Again, this is very funny when they literally found everything. It's like, well, look, they didn't know we'd had drug and guns, but they found the drugs and guns, and we said that we had the drugs and guns. I don't know what they're talking about, officer. Yeah, the toe swats part, I believe, is coming up. That's a very funny part of this. But They make some pretty wild allegations. I believe it's in this document. I believe it is this one, but we'll have to wait and see. I thought it was here already, but we'll see. We'll see. But before we get into that, I take a bit of a swig of my water because I'm very thirsty. Seeker Loather with a 5 Singaporean dollar said, so Ralph can't return to America and face justice because he has a pussy. Yes, he has cats. What a pussy. Show it to me. I'm falling off my chair here. Very close. Very funny. Because, of course, Ralph did fall off his chair. But yes, Ralph can't return to the country that his daddy gave him because he has 2 cats. So he's pleading with the honor. Your Honor, please make an allowance for me. I've got cats, Your Honor. This is a unique circumstance. As if nobody else has fucking cats. As if nobody else has children or things or responsibilities. Your Honor, I get drunk all day and I got to feed my cats. They're my only reason for living, Your Honor. Look, just find someone to look after the cats. If you really love the cats, Ralph, you'd let them go. You give them to a proper family that will look after them and then go face the music so that you can actually go to your son's Christmas party and his birthday and see him every month. Like, face the fucking music so you can be a dad. Just go back to America. Let me see. The affidavit must be sufficiently detailed, include all the evidence, law enforcement that has supports probable cause to be believed that the items sought are at the location to be searched. Well, they were, so I mean QED. 11, they must describe with particularity the things to be seized. Affidavits must not be conclusory, but should detail the underlying circumstances that support the affiant's belief that there was a probable cause. Now, this is an argument that Nick made in his own challenge, and it was shut down. Of course, there's a good clip by Nate the lawyer and Uncivil Law where they talk about how finding the guns was completely fine because in their course of searching for the drugs, they were open and easy to discover. They didn't have to like dig through anything or jump through these loops. No, the guns were just there. They were just there. And in Minnesota, you cannot be using controlled substances while owning firearms. And because you're also a controlled substance user and you have these guns, you're also a danger to children. So Nick and the Barnes defense has come out against this, saying like, well, you can't just find the guns. Well, yeah, they can. It's not like they, well, kind of like an argument that you, like I said, you should go watch the source of the clip because it really explains it very well. But essentially, the cops, it wasn't that the cops walked into the room, fell over, accidentally typed in Nick's password to his computer, and found the tax fraud receipts or anything. It wasn't like that. The guns were just there while they were searching for drugs. And that's perfectly fine. And Nate's actually a very good source for this information because he has worked in this exact field of law. Janimal, thank you for new member status. Thank you very much. Of course, joining as a member gives you all the membership benefits, such as access to private Discord, which you can find in the community tab of my channel after the stream. I'll post a new one very soon as we end this one. Gives you the custom emojis, supports the channel. It means I love you. And also you get to be a green name. We have to get rid of all those gray people. I heard Sean saying it today, but we got to pray the gray away. If you're a dirty gray name in my chat, will you be able to pony up and become a member? Actually, can I gift any memberships this week? Membership gifting. No, you have to wait till next month. Before I give you out more free memberships. Where were we? Affiants must not be conclusory, but should detail the underlying circumstances that support the affiant's belief that there is probable cause. Recital of some of the underlying circumstances in the affidavit is essential if the court is to perform its detached function and not serve merely as a rubber stamp for the police. State v. Anderson. See also State v. Doyle. If the magistrate is to perform his neutral and detached function and not serve merely as a rubber stamp for the police, then the magistrate must be provided with more than mere opinions, conclusions, or beliefs of the affiant. Well, it seems like everyone, all of the practicing lawyers, think that the warrant is pretty solid, pretty taut and thick and solid. And I think that's kind of evident because it was Nick's challenges to the warrant were completely thrown out, so I don't see this one working either. But I think there is one reason that they're trying to do this again, and I'll talk about it a bit later. The information reported to law enforcement has no indica of reliability. The information in the affidavit can come from various sources, including eyewitness testimony, informants, or surveillance. Well, that's interesting because you self-snitched. So surveillance is right there. Surveillance is right there. You self-snitch by live streaming your own criminal activity. Informants, the church people informed on you, the conspiracy of your sister-in-law reported on you. You think that Aaron reported you? Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. We don't know. We don't know. But the thing is, the pastor that reported was a mandated reporter. He had to do it. It's not some conspiracy. It was his responsibility. Mandated reporter doesn't mean if you feel a bit fishy. You're legally required to do so. Eyewitness testimony, I mean, I think we all saw it as well. However, for the warrant to be valid, the sources must be reliable. Well, here's the thing. They were. They were, and you did. Like, if this might make sense if they found nothing. If they found nothing, well, it was all just a ruse, Your Honor. But the thing, they found it. They found it. Slightly amused black kid from the suburbs gifted 5 memberships. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. I'm going to read another Baldo quote for that. For those, every time we get some memberships, we'll try and read a new Baldo quote from the random generator. Let's have a look what this one is. Let's see. I've had my Baldo back for a long time. I just no longer have a church pastor breathing down my neck. It's nice. Oh, isn't that? Look at that. Look at that. But now I have to find where I was. I guess we're here, right? I guess we're here. But this is a good question. How do I hope this story ends? And I'll tell you honestly how I hope this ends. I hope this ends with Nick admitting he made a mistake, and he doesn't have to do it online. He has to admit that he made a mistake to himself and just get his life back on track. I don't want to see the black pill ending. I want to see the happy ending. I think the happy ending is possible. I know that's the boring answer, but I don't want to see this family torn apart. But I don't think that he has what it takes to actually make his life better. And what it takes to make his life better is humility. He has to understand that he can't do these polyamorous swinging things and chase his own pleasure while he's trying to be a responsible father figure and head of a household. If you want to do this swinging degenerate bullshit after your kids are all grown up, that's fine. I don't care. I literally have no care in the world. If single people are doing degenerate things or destroying their own lives, they have a responsibility, not responsibility. They have a right to do so in my worldview. The thing is, when you're a guardian of a vulnerable person like a child, you have to put your own pleasure-seeking desires aside for the greater good. That's the way it is. You chose to be a parent. Kids don't choose to be born. You're responsible for them until they can make their own decisions. And your kids can't even cook SpaghettiOs by themselves. So you got to put down the Baldo. You got to put down the Mrs. April and get to fucking work and cook those SpaghettiOs, or perhaps real food, not just fucking SpaghettiOs. So that's what I want to see. I want to see the happy ending. I think that's what I want to see. What I think will happen is I think that there'll be a no jail time. Although Nick's certainly making a case for it. If he keeps interfering, he's certainly making a case for it. If he keeps making stupid moves like criminal activities, he's making a case for it. It's funny because, like, the thing is, I think that Nick actually needs to thank his detractors. Because there's a saying, and I said this in my Discord, which you can get access to if you join as a member. A little plug there. But I think that the detractors did Nick a favor. And when Nick was exposing or trying to expose Aaron more by showing the internet history, if the detractors had not said anything, I think he would have gone ahead and shown way more shit. I thought he's such a bad lawyer that he didn't realize what he was doing was a felony, another felony, while he's currently on bail. And he would have posted more shit from Aaron's private logs, further incriminating himself. But when all the people on Twitter jumped at it saying, Aaron, look, Nick and Melton are committing a felony right now, I think it shocked them back into coherence for a moment. They're like, oh, wait a minute, we're actually doing something bad. I thought this isn't just a funny joke. It's actually illegal. Let's stop. So I guess that actually helped Nick's life out a little bit, being so scrutinized by the internet. But it just reminded me of that old saying where never interrupt your enemy while they're making a mistake. So if people wanted to just let him do his thing, give him enough rope to hang himself, he probably would have. So it's kind of funny how that works. But yeah, what I think will happen is that he'll get a deferment, probably 2 years probation or 5 years probation, something like that. Community service, probably a fine. No jail time, I'm hoping, because I got a $20 bet riding on that. But that's what I think will happen. But what I want to happen is the good ending. I'm not like a person that wants this. I don't want him actually just to see him suffer. Okay. I'm not actually like cold-hearted. I just want to laugh about it. That's all I want. I want to laugh and have a bit of a giggle and enjoy some fun streams with the bros, with the boys. And I suppose some of you may have vaginas, I guess. Who knows? Anyway, let's continue. The information reported to law enforcement has to... Oh, we read that part, actually. So we've read this part about eyewitness testimonies, informants, and surveillance. However, for the warrant to be valid, the sources must be reliable. If an informant is used, the affidavit must usually demonstrate that the informant has previously provided reliable information, or that the independent sources corroborated their information. Is that true? Is that... I don't know if that's true. The affidavit must usually demonstrate that the informant has previously provided reliable information. Is that true? Hold on for a second. Let's think about this rationally. If it's a first offense, if it's a first crime, and this person involved has never had any reason to be involved with law enforcement, then why would they have previously provided reliable information? This could be a first time, right? So I don't believe this. First off, I don't think this is actually a requirement. Now, when they say reliable information, maybe that just means a person who you could consider to be reliable. Well, you were reported by a fucking pastor, a mandated reporter. So it is. It is a reliable information or a reliable important. But then the second part of the clause here is that the other independent sources corroborated that another independent source corroborated their information. There is at least off the top of my head, there's 4 different sources. You've got the teacher, you've got the pastor, you've got the sister-in-law, you've got Aaron. All of these sources are reporting the same thing. So even if this is the case, that they have to have previously provided reliable information, which they apparently did, it was literally provided by at least 4, probably more, different sources. That's not even including his own fucking self-snitching. Now, Nick self-snitching, I guess he's not considered a reliable informant because he's fucking high and drunk, but he did show his crimes on camera. So I guess that's reliable enough, right? The pastor. Do you guys not say pastor? Pastor? Do you say pastor in America? The pastor of the church. What do you guys... This is like the June discussion all over again. Oh my God, you can't even have a good time with my own chat. Oh my God. Why did I even bother reading the chat? The Velocipastor. Yes, he's the Velocipastor. Pastor. It's chowder, not chowder. Chowder. Fuck off. Don't talk to Australians about fucking vowels. That's our N-word. If you bring up vowels, okay. Let's see. In our case, the affiant does not even bother to recite the source of much of the information. No mention is made whether the information was reliable or unidentifiable informant. The reported disclosure does not reflect that the anonymous reporter possessed first-hand knowledge of the allegations. Moreover, the information reported was not corroborated by independent facts or verified through further investigation. In addition, the reported information is made even more suspect by the fact that Nicholas, as a well-known internet personality, but not well-known enough to be known by Detective Pomplum, even though he knew about the illustrious Aaron Imholte of the Steel Toe Morning Show, but he has been the victim of recent swattings. Now, this part is fun. This part is really fun. Chat, I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. Zoom in, enhance this chat. Read this fucking sentence. This is outrageous. This is outrageous. I'm going to start again. In addition to the reported information, it is made even more suspect by the fact that Nicholas is a well-known internet personality. He has been the victim of recent swattings activity, likely initiated by Aaron Imholte, who has a recent falling out with the Rekietas. Yes, it's the toe swats. Aaron Imholte summoning the SWAT team against Nicholas Rekieta. Nick Rekieta? Nick Rekieta told me I could SWAT Nick Rekieta. What the fuck? When I saw this, I fucking lost it. How could you say this? How could you say that? What evidence do you have to support this claim that Aaron went out of his way to swat you? This is an illegal, bold move in a legal document. This is outrageous. And I think this is only here for one reason. I think this entire paragraph here, likely initiated by Aaron Imholte, is just to get Aaron so riled up that he says Kayla on stream. And then in Nick's mind, like, you have to remember, like, Nick is doing a lot of stuff to try and wind up Aaron. He's trying to wind up Aaron because he thinks if he can get Aaron to say Kayla's name on stream, then Aaron's going to prison because he has a restraining order. Kayla has a restraining order against him. It makes no sense. And if I think about this, didn't all the swattings happen prior to Aaron leaving the polycule? Like, so Aaron left the polycule 7 weeks before the final event, right? Surely all the swattings I remember happened prior to even, I think, the polycule starting. Like, I'm pretty sure all the swattings happened like years ago, right? Surely, right? Was there a recent one that like coincides with Aaron leaving the thing? This is insane. Now, I understand that Aaron had to put his show on hold and go call his lawyer the second this came out because it's just so outrageous. I have no idea. How is this happening? Like, how could you say this? Likely, oh, well, I put that likely in there. Allegedly swatted by, like, fuck off. How do you say this? He's never been swatted. No, he's been swatted. Nick has been swatted a couple times. He's been swatted like several times. Now, the interesting thing is that Tor swats, basically all swattings were instigated by a guy called, well, not instigated, but they were performed by a guy called Tor swats. And what he would do is he would record these like really annoying like voice-to-speech messages where it'd be like, hello, I am in a wheelchair with automated voice, so I have a computer voice. I am going to roll over my grandma and then roll over my own neck in my wheelchair. Come get me. And then it would post like and say their name. This is a self-confession. Like, that's basically what every Tor swats video was like, because there's no way you can catch them, right, if you use a computer voice. Spoiler alert, he got caught. And interestingly, apparently everyone that Tor swats got swatted by has been contacted by the federales, well, I guess the regular ones, right, the FBI. And they've been told about the updates in this case. And if you've been following Mr. Medica Jim on Twitter, he's been talking about how he has some information about his own swattings, because several swattings did occur during Jim's stream. So it is very likely that Nick has also been contacted by these people, confirming that it was Tor swats. Now, Tor swats was a swatter for hire. So is it possible that Aaron paid Tor swats to swat Nick? Yeah, it is technically possible, but there's no way I see this being true. I'm sorry, like, Aaron's a pretty shit guy. But for all he is, I don't think he's a swatter. This is ridiculous, okay? He's so busy asking for donations. He has no time to call in swats on people, okay? He's much too busy. I don't see it. But Toe Swats is a very funny nickname. It's not impossible, I suppose, but I was just, what the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck? Fallen Hero became a member. Thank you very much, my anime friend. The facts alleged by the investigating deputy are conclusory and based on pure speculation. The facts that an internet celebrity may have appeared to have lost weight, he did lose weight, appeared to be tired, he was tired, appeared strung out, are conclusory in nature and not factual. Wait, hold on a second. Hold on. This has to be written by Nick. No, it can't. No, sorry. I rescind what I just said. It can't be written by Nick because this is way too funny. This is way too funny to be read by Nick. Your Honor, I'm not factually accurate. I'm not strung out or appear to be strung out. Oi, mate. Likewise, the allegation that April Imholte appeared tired, lethargic, and strung out are mere conclusory statements that fail to recite facts leading to such conclusions. For example, this is the age of prescription weight loss medication. Essentially, everyone is losing extraordinary amounts of weight in a short period of time. This is not true because look at me. I'm not losing any fucking weight. Look, Ozempic, whatever that fucking weight loss drug is, not everybody isn't on Ozempic, isn't it? Doesn't it cost like thousands of dollars? Like, I'm pretty sure it's not a cheap drug. Your Honor, if it may please the court, everybody's losing weight. Look at yourself. You're a fine young woman. You've lost 20 pounds already from this court case. Like, what do you mean everybody's losing weight? What if... Yeah, the thin people are fucking everywhere in America. Everybody's losing weight, Your Honor. We're all skinny these days. Holy shit. Holy shit. This is so good. This is so funny. Oh, my goodness. The age of prescription weight loss medication. Like, I know that medication is use in America is much higher than it is in other countries to an outrageous amount. But the idea that everybody's just losing buckets of weight on Ozempic is really, really silly. Essentially, everyone is losing extraordinary amounts of weight in a short period. Like, even just like, sorry, I'm sorry. Hold up. Sorry. It's not just everybody's losing weight. It's not just, Your Honor, we're all getting fucking tight. We're all going to the gym. We're all like getting shredded. Your Honor, the entire look at the gallery, Your Honor. Look at all these shredded Minnesotan individuals. They're just like dripping with pussy. Like, what? It's not just like a little bit. They're losing a little bit. They're losing. Everybody is losing extraordinary amounts of weight. Holy shit! This is such a fun little document. And not even just like losing weight, in like extraordinary amounts of weight in a short period of time. In a short period of time, they're just praying the fat away, and it just goes. It just goes. I, with 5 pounds, says, didn't the swatting occur when Nick and Ralph were on really bad terms? I'd pick the rage pig over the toe, 10 out of 10, as one of those, as the one who hired the swatter. Actually, that's a pretty good theory. I could definitely see Ralph being a swatter, much more so than Aaron being a swatter. Like, Aaron just wants to do his little internet show, call for donations, and then play golf. I really don't think Aaron's a swatter. It's funny because I make fun of Aaron quite a bit. And then people still accuse me of being a toe washer, I guess you'd call them. I don't know. It is what I'll hold on a second. It is. Hold on. Let me see if there was. I think there's something that just came. I need to. Here it is. Yeah, this is the tweet that I was thinking of. It's right here. I got to bring this one in. Oh wait, sorry, that's not it. That's something else. Where is it? This one. I saw this one today. I don't even like Aaron, but the man definitely knows how to pick his battles. He's always the least worst scumbag. Aaron is a scumbag, but Nick is worse. Aaron is a scumbag, but April's worse. Aaron's a scumbag, but Pedo Pat's worse. Aaron's a scumbag, but Ralph's worse. It's just true. It's just true. Aaron is a shining turd in the bowl compared to these other people. It's another win for the toe. What can you do? What can you say? It is what it is. It is what it is. Where were we? Extraordinary amounts of weight. Let's see. However, no independent investigation was done in that regard. Your Honor, did you even check? Did you even add me as a friend on My Calorie Mate to see if I was not hitting the gym 5 times a week? Did you even try? Did you even ask if I was just going running for miles a day, Your Honor? Did you even bother investigating if I was just losing mountains of weight and getting fucking shredded for something? Like, what do you mean? No independent investigation. Independent by who? Secret eaters? Who's doing this independent investigation? Like, do you have to get someone outside the police to investigate how much weight you're losing and how? Like, let's send in the SWAT team to go find out if they're dropping belt sizes, Your Honor. Holy shit. I'm losing a lot. I'm getting shredded from this article because I'm getting free ab exercises. This is amazing. Nicholas also suffers from insomnia, yet no independent investigation was done in that regard. In addition, the mere fact that Aaron Imhotep how is Aaron living in their minds rent-free and tax-free for, like, they literally think that Aaron is behind everything. They think that Aaron called the cops. Aaron did everything. He swatted them. He called the cops. He took away the children. He planted the drugs. He put the guns in the house. It's all Aaron. It's all the toe. Can't you understand? It's all the toe. In addition, the mere fact that Aaron posted a dubious video blog insinuating that Nick was using a controlled substance does not make said blog factually accurate. Actually, but the real wording was factually corroborating evidence. It is at best unreliable hearsay. However, it is more likely retaliatory due to his falling out with the Rekieters. It's all about me, Your Honor. So I try not to make too many references to The Simpsons. So this time I'll make a reference to Seinfeld. Have you ever seen the episode of Seinfeld where George is trying to get Lloyd Braun? And he's like, there's all these like silly little things happening, and it's just like, why were you wearing the glasses? Like, why were you wearing the glasses when you can't see? It's like, don't you see? It was the full Lloyd Braun. It's like, it's just like the ultimate enemy is the toe gang. It's all about, don't you see, Your Honor? It was all about the toe. He just wants to get at Rekieta. Holy shit. Holy shit. The investigating deputy does not possess any training or experience in determining drug recognition via video production, and thus is not qualified to offer a reliable expert opinion. Well, let's see. He determined that you're using drugs. He went to the house. You were using drugs. They found the drugs. You tested positive for the drugs. They confiscated the drugs. They didn't confiscate 26 grams of imagination, did they? But let's see their argument. The expert opinion of an investigating DRE deputy must be discounted, as that opinion is based only upon the observations of the deputy while watching an internet video performance. Huh? Okay. Internet video. I was just acting, Your Honor. You don't understand. I'm a method actor. It was all a ruse. You don't know. I'm just so, like, when you watch Scarface, Your Honor, you know he wasn't really drunk. Like, it was just baby powder, Your Honor. You don't know. You don't know. I could just be performing for American Beauty too. My audition is coming right up. It's coming right up, Your Honor. I'm the best actor. What do you mean? Lloyd Braun ripped off Randy Quaid. True. Lloyd Braun is a bad guy. And Lemmy Lawless with a 500 yen. Hello, my Japan friend. Says Rekieta stole Aaron's wife, but Aaron is still somehow winning. This is like Aaron is just like Mr. Magoo. He's walking along, minding his own business, and people are slipping on banana peels around him. It's hilarious. Where was I? So it was his online internet performance. There exists no independent corroboration of any of these conclusions alleged by the deputy. There were no garbage pulls. Well, I mean, if there was a garbage pull, you'd be saying that was unconstitutional as well. No allegations from any other person that there were drugs in the Rekieta home. Yes, there was. Yes, there was. There was allegations from the church. There was allegations from the sister. There was allegations from the Aaron. There you go. There was at least 3 right there. And that's not even getting into the extended family members who have been posting about this on Facebook. That's not even getting into the teachers of the church. That's not even getting into the concerned congregation members. No, there were allegations. Not even getting into the allegations of the thousands of people that saw it happen live. And of those thousands of people, I assume several of them also reported it because they're just trying to get him into shit, which they did. Moreover, as a DRE, the deputy did not perform any testing on the defendant that would confirm his hunch. Until they pulled you in and tested you positive for drugs. It's like, well, Your Honor, they didn't even test me to see if I had drugs until they arrested me to test me to see if I had drugs, and it came back positive. Huh? If the court is to follow the deputy's logic, the deputy could just as easily justify a search of Al Pacino's office on the set of Scarface. Did Nick write this? Did Nick write this, chat? If you think Nick wrote this himself, put a 1 in the chat. If you think this is a real document by another attorney, put a 2. I'm convinced Nick wrote this. I'm sorry. Whoa, buddy. Your Honor, have you? I was making Scarface jokes originally. I didn't even. Maybe it seeped into my brain subconsciously. I didn't. I legit didn't see this part coming. I did read this document earlier, but I didn't read the whole thing. Oh my god. Let's hope that Nick never shows up on an episode of To Catch a Predator. Right? It's like, Your Honor, you may as well be searching American Beauty's dress wardrobe. Oh my goodness. Well, I wish he had the audacity to actually reference American Beauty in one of these documents. That would be great. That'd be great. Holy shit. Yeah. No way any self-respecting lawyer would write that shit. I'm sorry. Like the inclusion. This is YouTube video essayist tier writing. If the court follows the deputy's logic, the deputy could just as easily justify a search of Al Pacino's office on the set of Scarface. Oh my God. Nick had to have written this. Nick had to have written this himself. He is a writing major. He is a writing major, so there you go. Conclusion. The most disturbing part of the search warrant was that it granted in this case was the most disturbing part of this search warrant was that it granted in this case was the utter lack of any evidence or allegation, credible or otherwise, that there were illegal substances located in the Rekieta home, much less that these drugs were located within the home. Oh my fucking God. Oh my fucking God. It's so hard. It's so hard to read this. Because they found the fucking drugs. I know that this is you have to put your mind back into the time prior to the drugs being found. That's their argument, but the argument's so fucking stupid. And it's completely disproven by the fact that they found the drugs and that all the practicing lawyers have no problem with the search warrant. Even when Uncivil Law, who is now turned away from the Baldo man, back when he was still friends with Nick, he was like, let's have a look at this search warrant to see if we can help Nick. And as Kurt was in the frame of mind that let's see if we can help Nick, he read through and his first thoughts were, this warrant is unattackable. It's unattackable. Even before he turned, when he had all the bias in the Baldo court, he couldn't say there was anything wrong with it. You would have to be a Barnes walking deficient child to take this argument at its face value. This is just beggars belief. I don't know what I'm actually speechless. Let me see. All right, let's just go over this though. Let's have a look. Let's dissect this a little bit. The most disturbing part of the search warrant was that it granted this case the utter lack of evidence or allegation. Okay, was there evidence? Yes, Nick recorded himself doing drugs. Nick acted like he was on drugs. Was there allegations? Yes, there was allegations from allegedly Aaron, from Nick's point of view, the sister-in-law, the church, the pastor, and again, the video evidence of people calling in and stuff like that. Credible or otherwise, well, that's not important because these two things did happen, so this is just a complete lie. That there were illegal substances located in the Rekieta home. There were illegal substances, much less that these drugs were located within the home. They were located in the home. They were in your little box, your little safe thing that you don't claim that was not a safe. That's another thing. Like, while I was away in Korea, there was another part where Nick claimed that during his Twitter escapades, where he claimed that the search warrant said that they found a safe full of drugs and that he's never had any safe in his house except for the 5 other safes that he has in his house. I guarantee you that if the body cam footage comes out, what we're going to see is like a little box with like a padlock on it, and it's a lockbox. And Nick's going to say, "Well, I never said that was a safe. That's clearly not a safe because it's not bolted." Like it's just these word game bullshit. It's ridiculous. It's honestly ridiculous. But yes, there was shit there. Let's see. Controlled substance is not illegal. A controlled substance use is not illegal in Minnesota. Possession is illegal. Well, okay, I can agree with this point. So the use of the drugs is not illegal. All right, this is the first true thing I think I've seen in this entire article. Well, filing. Possession is legal, but you possess the drugs. There are no allegations contained in the application for search warrant that recite any first-hand knowledge of illegal substances being present in the home at the time of the allegation. Well, here's the thing. If you can use the drugs whenever you see fit, it's likely that there are drugs there. Now, it doesn't seem it's like completely not important because, again, even though controlled substance use is not illegal in Minnesota, that's not what they're calling you in for. They're calling you for possession, and you did possess the drugs. So this is just some really... You would have to actually have wet brain to think this was a good argument. What the fuck am I reading? What the actual fuck? Robert Glock. Oh, it was a booty goon. Look at that. He doesn't just want booty, he needs it. Rekieta Lolkel arc has become some kind of kayfabe work. No way anyone can keep taking L's like Nick is over and over unless they're doing it on purpose. Could it be some next-gen reality TV on the web content pilot effort? Maybe. I mean, the viral marketing is insane because this has made waves all around the world. Maybe we're all just in purgatory. And the purgatory is just waiting for the body cam. Like every week, the body cam is just one more week away, and there's a new crazy development and a new crazy filing. Maybe we all just died and went to purgatory, and this is what we're just suffering now. Suffer as we wait for the body cam. Where were we? We don't know the nature of the white powdery substance alleged to be present on Rekieta's nose, nor does the deputy. All right, well, to be fair, they don't because he snorted that substance, but the substance they found in your house was cocaine. We know that because it field tested positive for cocaine, that it came back with a cocaine test from a more rigorous laboratory. So you absolutely, this is not even in question, you absolutely had cocaine in your possession in your home. Unless you want to pin the possession on Kayla or April, somebody could take the fall. Somebody could take the fall, but somebody in that house possessed it. It is just as plausible that it was sheetrock dust as an illegal. Wait, what the fuck is sheetrock dust? Hold on a second. Excuse my ignorance. What is sheetrock dust? Sheetrock dust. Oh, drywall dust. Wait, what? Was he sniffing walls? I'm sorry, chat. I need a minute. I'm going to be right back. Let me play an ad from our sponsors.
Are you tired of drinking alone, or worse, with boring people? Hi Minnesota, I'm Meme McGill, and do you want to experience the kind of atmosphere where the drinks flow as freely as the gossip? Then come on down to Stoney's in Rockville, Minnesota. At Stoney's, we don't just serve drinks, we serve connections. Some legal, some not so much. Need a spot to discuss your latest scheme, or just want to unwind after a long day of avoiding responsibilities? Well then come on down to Stoney's where the drinks are cold and the secrets are spicier than our famous Ultimate Bloody Marys. Whether you're planning your next big hustle or just looking for a good time, Stoney's is the place to be. We've got pool tables, karaoke nights, and the only thing more colorful than our drinks is our clientele. Hey look, you didn't hear this from me, but did somebody say $2 cans on Thirsty Thursdays? Why settle for ordinary when you can have extraordinary? At Stoney's Bar, every night's a wild card, and the house always wins, unless you're buying the next round. Just remember that what happens at Stoney's stays at Stoney's. Well, that is until the next town hall meeting. Just check out all of our testimonials. Stoney's Bar, Rockville, Minnesota.
All right. I'm back. I had to go and just like the idea of it all. It is just as plausible that it was sheetrock dust as an illegal substance. Like, what's the implication here? Your Honor, you don't know I wasn't just going up and sniffing walls. Maybe I just go up to my ceiling and just rub my nose. And maybe I was plastering my ceiling, Your Honor, and I just had to remove the old gypsum dust. I gotta hoover up all that asbestos. What the fuck are you talking? Why wouldn't you just say like jelly donuts or powdered donuts? Like there's the perfect thing. There's the perfect answer there. He said, Your Honor, it was just as likely that I had some powdered donuts. Why would you say sheetrock dust? You can't even fix the cabinet on your kitchen, and you're going to pretend you're a handyman now. Holy shit. When I'm not licking windows, I'm sniffing walls. Very funny. Oh my goodness. I thought the lols were over when we got to the conclusion, but my laughter did not conclude. There's still more to give. And yes, the fire alarm chirp is an infinite interaction glitch. You can always get people to say something in chat, like the stream. Every time you hear a chirp, that'll be the thing, right? Holy shit. We don't know whether Nick was actually consuming alcohol, nor does the deputy. Okay. Nobody's gonna believe that, but okay. We can't field test a video. Oh my fucking Yeah, that's true, but it's not important because they found the drugs in your possession and they're charging you with possession. So it doesn't fucking matter if you can field test the video. Your Honor, if it might please the court, we have not invented smell-o-vision. You can't smell to see if I was drinking whiskey. There's no... Your Honor, do you see any stink lines above my portrait in this video that would imply that I was drinking? I think not. We cannot field test a video, Judge, and that means I must be a free man. It is all speculation, conclusory statements, and guesses from people who have no first-hand knowledge of the home. Well, I mean, we're going to have some first-hand knowledge. Well, not really, but we're going to have quite a lot of knowledge about the home when we see the body cam. Nicholas Rekieta is an internet personality, and in the single video, the only credible evidence contained in the application of the search warrant, Nicholas Rekieta was engaged in an internet performance. It is a show for likes. Hit the like button, chat. For hits, well, I agree with this one. He was getting hits. Hits are cocaine. And the more likes, comments, and hits the performance generates, the more income is generated. He is an actor. Is this the Joker 2 defense? Your Honor, I'm Nick Rekieta. These heinous acts were perpetrated by rekietalaw. He's my alter ego, Your Honor. Like, this is literally the Joker 2 defense, but is it going to have the Joker 2 ending? I think it will. It might be this, like, it might be, I mean, you're just one bad day away from being the Joker, right? He is an actor. We all know we are not to believe what we see and hear on the internet. Giving the reasons provided herein and shocking absence of any corroborated facts, upholding the search warrant issued in this matter derides the entire notion of the probable cause standard itself. For this reason, the defendant's motion must be granted, dated 1 month from Christmas. Holy shit. Give him a round of applause. Wow. Wow. Nick 100. I 100% believe Nick wrote this. This is outrageous. Oh my god. Oh my god. What a day. Oh, and then we're not even finished. We're not even finished yet, chat. There's more to come. That's Kayla's. But we have a fun little meme here. Fun little meme. Hey guys, look how high I am. You're under arrest. Joke's on them. I was only pretending. But wait, there's more. There is more. There's at least 2 more things. But that, yeah. Shout out to whoever made this. This is exactly what I thought about when I saw this. I'm glad that somebody read my mind and made my memes into reality. Oh my goodness. What a good one. All right. What's next? All right. So Nick did appear in, so we'll go back to the very beginning. We talked about this. Nick said he had a good day today. And just prior to going to court on the most important day of his criminal case thus far, he was up until 3 a.m. arguing with people on Twitter and also hanging out in Melton's chat, paying him $100 to be his friend, where he said, "Thanks for all the well wishes and the support. Today I have to go do something that is anathema to me because it is the right thing to do, and I have 2 boys that teach how to be men. You've always been a neutral voice, and that's all I've ever asked for." So what does he mean by this? So he has to go do something that is anathema to him. Now, many people would take the implication here is that he's going to have to take a big, fat L. He's going to have to go and plead guilty so that he can get his life back on track, because fighting the case would be it'd be ridiculous. There's no way to win this case if he fights it. They've got everything. He has no defense. The only thing he can say is like, well, the cops maybe planted it or something. But he had his first hearing today, and this is the report from on the ground from the Kiwi farmers. So there was about 5 people in the court, I believe. But this is the notes as it went through. Unfortunately, it was mostly a closed courtroom. They went into the back, talked about something, and I believe that the next hearing is scheduled for the 16th of December. So about a month away is the next hearing. And my reading of the situation my reading of the situation is that Nick is going to plead guilty, but he needs to work out the details with the prosecutor, and he's delaying it as much as possible. He's delaying it to see how April's case goes, and he's delaying it to see how Kayla's case goes. I think ultimately he will take the guilty plea deal, but he's trying to kick the can down the road, because if he can keep things going, keep the body cam out of the public view, maybe people forget about it. Not bloody likely, but I think that's what he's doing. So I think he's using it to buy time to see how things are going, and he's desperately seeking anything he can do before the date. And the thing is, though, unfortunately, the more time that passes, the more he seems to fuck up. Like with the Melton incident, with the reading Aaron's private stuff and private logins, digital trespassing, perhaps wire fraud if they were looking at his credit card stuff. So yeah, I think that's what's going on there. But let's see what the Kiwis are saying today. So, as reported today from the Minnesota Candio High courtroom, Nick and Kayla, for some reason, this person makes their K's look like a U. I guess they're writing very quickly, but it threw me off at first. Nick and Kayla are whispering to each other, and April is trying to whisper to them while standing a few feet away. Lol, it's awkward. So apparently there's a lot of tension. Again, Nick showed up to Kayla's courtroom in normal clothes, late, but apparently he was wearing a black suit today as well. He showed up with his mistress. She's just there for, yeah. This is Nick's alter ego. But yeah, that's who we're talking about right now. Niku. Can't make out what they're saying. Sorry. At 2:45, Nick looks reddish, keeps sighing and looking up. No one is talking. All three just standing around. You could hear a pin drop. Now Nick and April are having some conversation that he's smiling at her and she's giggling while... Wait, so this is Nick and April. They're talking and giggling. While Kayla stands still and silently gripping her left arm. Oh, like this. Gripping her left arm. At the elbow with her right hand. While she looks so tense from behind. Can't see her face. It's down. Bro, there is like 5 people in here and court is still not in session. Kayla has a death grip on those car keys. Can see her hands' veins. Feels a bit... something was scribbled out. Lol, I don't know. No, I don't. Lol. Let's see. So apparently it was all figured out in the back room and there was no court session happened. Fucking pussies. Wow. Lamol. So I missed that. There's another one, right? Afterwards. April gives Nick a huge hug. She has heavy caked on foundation and mascara. Muddy combat boots. She's been out in the forest hunting for deer, I suppose, practicing for taking out Kayla and wearing her skin around the house. Muddy combat boots, blue jeans, some weird coat with a big gold buttons down the arms. I think I've seen that coat. She looks puffy, been crying for sure, head down, waiting in the hall. 2:19. So I guess this is before, right? Did I read these out of order? Sorry, chat. I think I read these out of order. Oh, well. 2:19. She went into the bathroom down the hall, and I can hear her sniffing and tearing paper towels. Faucet sounds, no toilet, most likely. 2:30. Still waiting outside court. Just met April. She looks incredibly tense, eyes either down or staring off. A ring on every finger. Silver holographic nails. 4 bracelets on each arm. So she looks like a hussy. 2:32. Super awkward small talk between April and Kayla. April tries to keep Kayla, to help Kayla throughout the fast. April tries to help Kayla throughout the fast food container. They talk a tiny bit about nothing and then hang out facing each other awkwardly. The bailiff comes out. Apparently April had like a salad or some shit. I read that. Bailiff comes out. Must note, both Kayla and April are playing with something in their hands. April, her glasses. Well, that's because they're tweaking, right? April, her glasses. Kayla, her car keys. So tense, they deaf feel awkward and are just self-soothing. 2:40, we're finally into the courtroom. Nick and Kayla stand together while April stands a few feet away, awkwardly staring at them. So that is the report from on the ground. And hold on a second. Do I have an actual thing? I have this as well. I guess I'm unprepared as people have been calling me. Very, very unprepared. I was abducted by a submarine, though, so I feel like I should have the benefit of the doubt. Here it is. Okay. So this was today. The settlement conference will happen today at 2:15 p.m. And a secondary settlement conference has been scheduled for the 17th. So provided Nick doesn't freak out and do something stupid, it might be a bit of a Nick gap, okay? Although, except tomorrow he has another court case, so I guess that's not true. But it looks like maybe there'll be no streams until halfway through December about Nick. We will have to stream about something else. But again, I think he can't help himself, so it's very unlikely. But my reading, like I said, my reading of the situation is that a plea was offered and Nick has been bargaining. I think he's promised to plead guilty, but only if they drop the child endangerment charges. I think that's what he means from this super chat. Like, again, this is my headcanon at this point, but I think that he's promised. That's why there's a secondary settlement conference. A settlement conference is typically for like negotiating the plea, right? I think that this is what it's implying, is that I have to go do something that he doesn't want to do. So he's already said he's doing something he doesn't want to do, but he's doing it to show his children how to be a man. So I think he's going to say, I have to do what I don't want to do, plead guilty to these charges, even though I know that I'm innocent, just to get my family back on track. But I don't think he can take the L of pleading guilty to child endangerment. So I think his offer, whatever the prosecutors have offered him, I think that he's negotiating to remove that. He just wants maybe reckless, whatever it is, like owning a firearm with controlled substance. I think that's what he's bargaining for right there. He can't take the L of the child endangerment, because then people will be saying he's literally guilty of child endangerment online. I think that'd be too much of a blow to his ego. But also, it's possible that they're arguing to seal the body cam footage as well. I'm not sure about that, but that could be one thing I was thinking of. But I don't know what you think too. But there's almost this to me implies that he's almost certainly taken a plea deal at this date. Now, he has kicked down the road successfully until December. And again, maybe he's just trying to stall for time to see if something comes up with Kayla's case or April's case. Because, hypothetically, this travesty of a memorandum that Kayla filed today, because the state will have to respond to her memorandum. Let's say that for some reason, the court says, oh, maybe Nick was acting. Maybe we do need to go watch Scarface, Al Pacino, whatever. If Kayla won on this motion, then Nick would be able to reference that in his own filings and say, well, Your Honor, if Kayla's search warrant was thrown out because I was acting, then how could my search warrant possibly be a legal document? It's ridiculous. So I think that that's what he's trying to do as well. There's no way this is accepted. Like, if it does, then I'm just going to fucking lose it and go back to living under the sea or some shit. It'd be totally crazy. So that's kind of my theory. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think? I would say, like, 1 for he's trying to just delay as much as possible. 2 for he's bargaining to get rid of the body cam and or child endangerment charges. Or 3, he's just delaying, hoping against hope that he can get like a last quarter Hail Mary in the form of Kayla's ridiculous filing. What do you guys think? Ben says it's another win for the copium. Thank you very much. I'm having a good day. So I just got back from Hiroshima, and I got a lot of sake. They gave me a lot of sake, actually. I'll talk about it maybe later in the week. But I went to a very nice place, and the lady there was so nice. She gave me she's like, I'll go get you some sake. I'm like, oh, that's nice. And she comes out with a box of sake, like an actual crate of sake. And I thought it was just one bottle. But it turns out she just gave me everything. But I'll show you what I was eating. This is what we had. Look at this. I know some people don't like fish. I know some people don't like sushi, don't like fish. But this was some immaculate snapper, squid, octopus. This was amazing. The whole fish head. Guys, it's sushi. People like sushi, right? You don't like sushi? Or whatever. And Marvel with the 2 says, who's the bigger home wrecker, Nick or April? I would say Nick. Because April's just a catalyst. She's just the bait. She's just the pie on the windowsill. Nick is the one snatching it from the windowsill, right? Oh, wait, there's some more stuff. Sorry. I forgot to tell you, there's Alex Stein is apparently on Fish Tank now. Now, I don't watch Fish Tank. I know it's very popular, but Aaron Stein has got like an in with, I guess, what's his name? Sam Hyde, another guy that can't get away with it. And apparently Alex Stein is using his time on Fish Tank to talk about Nick Rekieta and Aaron Imholte. So let's take it. There's a couple of clips. These are from Alyssa clips, and these are from Fish Tank. So let's see this first one.
I mean,
let me know if it's me too.
Like as long as the husband wants me to fuck his wife right in front of him because he gets turned on to see a black man fuck his wife's white pussy.
That's not, man. That's not good.
This is called this is a fetish called cuckold, cuck, bull, hot wife. There's several terminology for it.
It's a weird one.
Yeah, I know a guy that's into that. You ever heard of Nick Rekieta?
I'm not familiar with who that is.
What about Aaron Imholte?
The name does not ring a bell.
You've never seen Steel Toe Morning Show?
I'm not really knowledgeable about pop culture and stuff.
It's just a really big podcast.
Podcast things with my auditory thing is.
These guys are like, look, man, I just want to talk about black men fucking white women. And he's like, have you heard about Nick Rekieta?
Hard to keep up with podcasts unless they have subtitles.
Well, they do that. They do swapping. They swapped.
I think that's slightly different from what I'm doing. I don't have a wife or partner. Myself to swap with the wife. I mean, they just get me to fuck the wife in front of the husband.
Is this guy wanking right now? That's the first one. There's another one. This one's 2 minutes. Like, I think, doesn't Fish Tank have like a lot of viewers, right? Like tens of thousands of viewers.
If you are done,
Mr. Diamond, do you think Bert has a baldo?
a what?
A baldo.
What does that mean?
So Nick Rekieta had this saying, it was a baldo, that he would use on his wife and April Imholte, where sometimes he had an issue, allegedly, according to April, with getting it up.
Yeah, like, so this is funny because I guess all this lore is, I think, coming through the Kino Casino because they were talking to Aaron and they did like a lore dump on Rekieta. But yes, Nick had to use the blue chewies. What is it? Chewy blueies or whatever. Because he couldn't get up, which is why he likes the baldo, because the baldo is actually a sex toy for men who have to use their testicles because their cock isn't hard enough. So I guess now the Fish Tank participants are being subjected to the baldo way of life.
And so sometimes they didn't have Viagra, so it was like an attachment that hooked on your testicles. That was like a sex toy. It's called a baldo.
I don't have
like a dildo, but for your balls.
I don't have any type of device or.
You never used a baldo?
No, I didn't know what the fuck that is. I'm sorry.
And he has an African American friend.
Lord, what is it? Say 3. Okay, 3. Okay.
Probably they get donuts on Fish Tank. That's nice.
Thank you. And,
one pink one for Kelly. Okay. You don't have to give it to the baby, just in honor of Kelly. Okay. Just for good vibes.
Okay.
So this Nick guy, he
this is all he wants to talk about. He's just like, this is like when Nick went to Jamaica and started talking about anime. Alex Stein's going to Jamaica, i.e. Fish Tank, and just talking about Rekieta.
He used to have like this sex toy device, and his friend Dex is the one that gave it to him. And Dex is an African American man as well that allegedly also swapped and did the same thing you did. Like, you know how married couples like for you to blast their wife?
Yes.
Nick, his friend, allegedly, Dex, large African American, he would like it when he would blast his wife, Kayla, allegedly.
Okay.
You would like Nick. I think he's gonna.
These guys are so on it. They just don't care.
Along with Nick,
it's like Aaron's forcing this meme. It's so fun. It's so like out of their. It's like out of their entire like sphere.
Saying that.
Okay, is this
he's
like
very famous.
Cool. Is this like a cautionary tale or something?
Yes, it is a cautionary tale.
Another win for the toe. JJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJJ
You can't keep getting away with it.
Oh my god, it's another win for the toe.
Very popular podcast. It's called Steel Toe Morning Show. He's a Minnesota Vikings fan. He lives in Spicer, Minnesota. And since he's Steel Toe Morning Show, oftentimes he gets his viewers to help him.
Mr. Diamond, do you think Bert loves glory holes as much as Mr. Darius does?
Yeah, have you ever been to a glory hole?
Well, there a couple times, so it's not like my thing.
Is he gonna? I wanted to say, have you ever been to a glory hole? He's like, no. Well, Nick Rekieta went to the pleasure butt. Like, he just
Kind of like to see the person's
everything is
face.
so.
Wait.
Oh my god. what a simulation we're living in, right? Like, holy shit. There was one other thing. There was do you guys want to see this? It's about 35 minutes long. We could watch it at 1.25 speed, I suppose. So this is Kay, Lady Kay. She was the person that Nick pressed at Kayla's hearing. So this is an interview with TV's Will Heron. Her firsthand experience from the Rekieta trial today. If you want to hear it, if you want to see this interview, press a 1. This will probably be the last thing of tonight's stream. There's some other stuff that maybe I'll save for tomorrow. This lady, yeah, she's quite sweet. It seems like she was the victim of something very similar to what's happening to Nick's kids. So she has a personal interest in this. It's like quite a lot of ones. All right, we'll take a look. So this is on, but I want to give him a shout out. This is TV's Will Heron. This is the first time I've seen his channel. No, just kidding. Will Heron, he does a lot of clips. It's kind of similar vein to what Alyssa Clips does, although he also does interviews. And as a TV personality, this woman, Miss K, reached out to him to do some firsthand interviews after Nick threatened her, basically. So previously, if you missed out the last one, if you list the last one, what happened is that she's a concerned citizen. So that's why she goes to these things. And she had a similar thing happen to her. It sounds like, and I don't know, but from what she said, it sounds like she was in a household where the parents were drug abusers, and that as children they were abused. So it's quite an emotional thing for her, and she gets a little bit upset in the first interview, and that's perfectly fine. Like if you've gone through that sort of trauma, perfectly understandable. But she went to Kayla's hearing, and she was the only observer there, I believe. And Nick rushed out of the courtroom so he could get his phone and he was like pretending to record her by like doing this thing. You know, when you get the phone and you like hold it up to your chest and you're pretending you're not, like you're just holding it, but it's super obvious. And she went up to Nick and said, like, "Are you recording me?" And then he was like, "No." And so started doing the virgin walk away, like head down, virgin walk away, while he's being pressed by this woman. And then she decided to press him further. And like, "Well, wait a minute. If you're going to record me, I'm going to ask you some questions." And then she said, like, "I'm a concerned citizen." And Nick was like, "No, you're not. You're not a concerned citizen." And basically he tried to record her, and then Nick would go into Melton's chat and then say like, "Oh, they're sending they're sending the worst goblins after me. They're just like, let me show you what these Kiwi farmers look like. Like I might drop the whole video if I feel like it." And then she decided to drop her own video and go on an interview with TV's Will Heron, just to take the wind out of his sail, and because he's trying to abuse, or not abuse, but he's trying to threaten and hold some power over her. So he took the power away. Anyway, that's the preamble. So this is TV Will Heron. It says, "Kay is back in the Candio High Courthouse for the Rekieta hearing. Awkwardness between Kayla and April." So apparently there's trouble in paradise, as we will know there is. 1.25 speed, about 35. This will be about 15, 20 minutes, I think.
Welcome back. It's been a minute since I've seen you. You look great. You had a little bit of an adventure today. Kate?
I called the courthouse. I didn't expect it to be open to the public, so I called ahead of time, and they assured me that I'd be able to watch the hearing. So I went ahead and went in, and I was running late, and so I was the frazzled one this time.
Yeah, so last time Nick showed up to the court case for April late, and the judge chastised them for that. Now, some people have suggested that Nick is trying to sabotage other people's court cases. Maybe based on today's filing, Kayla's one, I could believe it. But the previous one is like Nick was talking. There was an implication that Nick was making like this trap situation for April, where she's in this house with no internet. He's defending her in his traffic court, and he doesn't just show up, so she's going to lose his license, be more dependent on him. I could definitely see it. Like that sort of behavior from a narcissist doesn't surprise me whatsoever. Maybe that's what he's doing. He's trying to sabotage one person so that he can come out of this alive. Maybe that's all he cares about, is just getting what's his. But who can say? But anyway, Nick was late last time. Now this woman was late.
And as I got there and was going up the stairs, I saw April at the top of the stairs. And I wasn't expecting that. I think it caught both of us off guard.
So you're walking into the courthouse, a little nervous, you're a little late, so you're trying to get in there. And I guess as soon as you walk in, there's a staircase to go up to put your stuff through a metal detector, or what are you talking about?
Okay, yeah. So when you first walk in, you put your phone in a locker and then go through doors. There is a metal detector there.
Yeah, so like that's one thing. If you do go to one of these court cases, don't try and sneak a phone into the courtroom. That's illegal, and that's why Nick had to run out of the court case last time, because he had to go retrieve his phone from the locker so that he could get a picture of this woman who he thought was a Kiwi farmer. Now she claims that she's not a Kiwi farmer and that she does read the Kiwi farms from time to time, but she does not have an account.
And then right at the end of the metal detector, there's stairs going up, and so I'm grabbing my stuff off the belt from the metal detector and turn to go up the stairs. And as I look up the stairs, April's at the top of the stairs saying something to the guy running the metal detector, but it caught me off guard, so I didn't even catch what she said. But she came down as
you know what I bet she was just talking about? She probably had all that shit on her arms. She's like, officer, do I really need to take off my bangles? Like, you can't expect me, a girl, not to look as good as I do. She had apparently 4 bracelets on each hand and a ring on every single fucking finger, as well as holographic nails. That's probably exactly what it was. She's just literally arguing that she didn't want to take off her fucking jewelry because she's dressing like a whore to her man sluts court case.
I went up, and then I got upstairs, and I saw somebody sitting on the bench.
Hold on. So you guys passed each other? Did you look at each other? Like, what was that like?
And it caught me off guard. I looked down and went up the stairs, and yeah, she passed me. And
did she recognize you?
I think right when we locked eyes when she was at the top of the stairs, it seemed like there was a recognition there. And
I think almost certainly she does recognize her, just because Nick was talking about this woman, and April follows everything that Nick does. For some reason, April is completely mind broken by Nick, and she would just follow him to the ends of the earth.
There she is.
Kind of. Did she look away like real fast, or did you look away like how to where?
I looked down.
Stare down.
Yeah. No.
Oh, the virgin looked down.
Okay, so you're getting up to the top.
Last time she was the Chad, but now she's the virgin.
She passes you. You're like, oh my god, that's April Anderson that just walked right past you. Then what are you doing?
I turn and I start walking towards the courtroom, and the doors are already closed. And I was like, oh shit, they started it. Am I allowed to go in or like? So I saw somebody sitting outside taking notes, and but right as I go in to open the door to go in the courtroom, Nick comes out. And we're
the older man shows up.
He was coming out right as I was going in, and him, I guess his lawyer, went out, and I went ahead and went in, and somebody else was having a hearing.
So did he like hold the door for you? He's like, you went in?
I don't even remember. Like I was frazzled this time. Like they were last time. I was truly frazzled and like.
That would have been really funny. Like that would have been really funny if Nick had a bit of sense of humor, he would have held the door open for her. But that reminded me of something, which is my new favorite meme, which is holding the door open slightly for people. Like this is what Nick should have done. If he wanted to assert dominance, he should have held the door open this slightly. And then he could have suggested that she was having too many sandwiches or something, which is right up his alley of humor. But I don't know. This would have been incredibly funny if this actually happened. I want to see that reality. Like the pettiness of it. I want to see that. There's just something so funny about it.
Everything was just kind of a blur when I first got there until I had time to sit down and recenter myself.
So you walk right past Nick's lawyers. You then sit down in the benches, and then you realize it's something else going on, not yours, or?
Yeah. It was a different courtroom, and there was no benches. There rows of plastic seats. Gray plastic seat.
I bet I know exactly what fucking plastic seat it is. You know that white one that everybody has in their backyard, and it's covered in like moss and shit because you leave it outside forever. It's like the patio furniture that everyone has. I bet it's like that. I want to see this courtroom. I wish that we could have taken phones inside of it.
And it was a little bigger this time. But Kayla was sitting over on the other aisle, and
in this courtroom.
Yes. And she had like a
different notes I'm talking about.
Oh, salad or something.
Oh my goodness, I forgot to turn on my. You know what? No, you guys can watch the fucking Chinese ballet ad. I'll switch to my YouTube Premium account in a second. But yeah, let's watch the Chinese ballet ad. There we go. My girlfriend's been using my computer again, and all she does is watch ballet videos. So I just get ballet videos all the time, allegedly. Oh, look, and Gillette apparently is the best a man can get. I don't know why an Asian man would need a Gillette razor, but apparently they do. All right, we're 4 minutes into this. Now that I know the timestamp, I can switch to my YouTube Premium account. Oh my God. 4 minutes. 4 minutes. There we go. All right. Resuming on premium mode. There we go.
A food container? They said boot, like a food container?
I go back a few seconds. There we go.
Oh, salad or something?
A food container? They said boot, like a food container?
Food, yeah.
Like she brought food with her, like she brought her lunch to go to court.
Seemed like it. Seemed like, yeah. So I sat there for about, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes. And there was an old guy that was up there. His case was about driving under the influence of methamphetamines. And he was an old...
Hey, then they could have got along with Nick. That'd be nice. Very relatable. Very relatable. That there's someone in court for crack use as the cricketer comes into the courtroom.
You know Nick? He's like, hey, Nick. Rekietalaw. Hey, I need some help.
Yeah, it was future Nick, and he had a pretty, she was an older lady, but a pretty wife. Like, and he was like a mess. But anyway, I thought that was funny.
Homewrecker.
Yeah. So I ended up going back out. And
Kayla stayed inside.
Kayla stayed inside at first. And then
what was she dressed like? I mean, last time you said she looked a little disheveled. This time was she, like normal? And she just ready to have some num-nums, or?
They were all dressed nicer this time. Nick was in a suit. Kayla was in.
So Nick didn't wear a suit to his wife's hearing, but he wore a suit to his own hearing. Makes you think, doesn't it?
Black slacks and black coat or gray coat. I should have took notes. It's better. Yeah, and then.
But she was professional.
Yes. Yeah, it was a cute little jacket and slacks.
Ah, this makes sense. Okay, now I see what's happening. Hold on a second. This makes sense. I have to do something that is anathema to me. Nick had to put on a fucking suit. That's why he's so mad. He had to show his boys how to be a man by putting on a suit because he had to be busy. He had to be businessman for a day. Holy shit. That is complete anathema to his sitting at home drinking persona.
Nice.
And then April had on black jeans and boots, like almost like combat boots.
Yeah, I think that's what the Kiwi farmer said, that she had dirty combat boots, but she was out in the fields because she's locked in the trap house and all she's allowed to do is eat salad, drink well water that's like really hard brown well water, and hunt for deer. That's how she keeps her trim figure. Salad and deer hunting. But one day she's going to hunt the deadliest game, Nick's wife, and then wear her skin around the house because she wants to live in the big house.
Did she have her bow and arrow with her? Was she like just done crossbow shooting or whatever?
No, she had a lot of jewelry on, a lot of rings and. But
did you see any of her tattoos?
I saw Kayla's tattoos on her feet, on the top of her feet. But no, I didn't.
Not even wearing closed shoes. Like, wear some fucking socks to court, woman.
I didn't see her tattoos. She had a jacket on too.
How did she seem? Was she like, just like, I'm just hanging out? Was it like the first time she got out of the house and she was like, let's do a bunch of stuff? Or like, what was she like?
Well, yeah. So after I went to the bathroom, I came and sat down on the bench next to the other person, a Kiwi farmer, taking notes. And
is she going to tell us? I want to know about the Kiwi farmer. Tell me about how much of a normal dude he is.
I didn't realize that yet, but April was standing out in the hall at that point, and she was leaning against the wall and just looking down a lot, seeming a little fidgety.
So Black Belt Ray, welcome to member. And
they all had like a defeated type of energy this time. Like
that seems like it was corroborated by the Kiwi story as well, that like everyone is like sighing, they're all depressed. I mean, if I was in this situation, I would be too, to be fair. I, with another 2 pounds, says eating the face of an animal is degenerate. Oh, I guess you're talking about me and my fish feast. Where was I? Where was it? Here? I got another message about this. People get really mad about this, apparently. They're saying this is me. Oops, sorry. Wrong one. So there's we didn't eat the fish head. It was just on display. Okay, I'm not eating plates of fish heads like Hugo. All right, this isn't me. It's just there for aesthetics. Oh my god.
Much more subdued, I'd almost say like humbled, a little humbled.
Wow.
Then Kayla came out of the courtroom and they had like a little interaction about the food and that Kayla was holding. And then Kayla said something to April about, I was going to save it, see if Nick wanted it or something like that. But the interaction seemed forced.
So she's eating a salad in the courtroom when she's already on her rabbit starvation diet, where she has to hunt for deer and eat salad. And she's like, well, maybe Nick would want a piece of lettuce when he comes out of the tree. Like, what the fuck? I mean, that's almost endearing in how addicted she is to this man.
Awkward, and yeah, like they were being cordial because they knew they were being watched.
Do they seem like sister wives?
Well, like competing sister wives, yes. Like there's that. Not like the picture we saw from the first hearing, and how their body language at the first hearing was way different than now between the two of them.
Well, what was it like now? What was the difference?
Well, the first hearing, April wasn't in the courtroom, but outside, they were just seemed like they were all gathered like a group and talking and like all friendly. It was very friendly. You know, when watching the group, they just all
right. There's no footage from inside the courtroom, but our court mandated artists did. We do have one court art picture from this is April. She's eating the big salad during the court case. This is an artist's interpretation of what the bench was like in Minnesota today.
We're interacting like really well and naturally, and this time it just everything seemed very forced, and it just seemed like kind of a coldness between them.
Wow. So you guys are sitting.
All right,
outside.
sorry. Before Will goes into his next thing, there's an interesting question here that says April is acting like an abused woman. You're incorrect. She's not acting like an abused woman. She is an abused woman. But no, you said April is acting like an abused woman. Likely happened before Nick, and now she thinks he's her only hope. Really, really sad. It is really sad, and I think that it's like the lost. The waiting for the boss fallacy, right? Like the more time you invest into something, even if the result is it'd just be better to cut and run, the more you are determined to stay. So I think that they've gone through this trauma bonding together. It's very unlikely that they're going to be separate from it now. 2 Hours Studio for 5 says April essays Kayla food sexual assault. Kayla's food and what? What do you mean essay? April essay Kayla's food and lamented, "Oh my God, is that food? I forgot what it looks like." Oh, saw. April saw Kayla's food and lamented. No, it's April who has the food, not Kayla. It's April who has the food. And Scarebro with a 5 just came in and says Nick wants the child endangerment dropped so he can salvage his E-rep, planning on basing himself as an alternative lifestyle family man and Christian philosopher. I agree with this take. I think that's definitely what it is. I think that's what he said because he was confirmed to have offered a plea deal. He said this on Onion's show, and he said it wasn't great, it wasn't good. I think that's exactly what he's asked for. Is he says he'll plead guilty, he'll take anything. They have to drop the child endangerment charge. Don't have any evidence for this, but this is my gut feeling, and it seems like a lot of people feel the same way. Let's continue.
You're hanging out with this Kiwi farmer. That person is taking notes and stuff like that, like a bunch of notes. What was that person like?
Quiet and taking notes. Yeah.
Did you speak at all to Kayla or to April? Was there an opportunity to like speak with them?
No, I did make eye contact with Kayla a couple times. I actually gave like a half smile, but did not receive one back. With April.
So she's not going to be invited to the throuple. She didn't get the warm reception from the second girl. Plus, April doesn't want to have any more competition as it is.
Oh yeah. We didn't even really make eye contact. Like we glanced at each other, but Kayla kept looking at me.
Really? So she probably recognized you from this video from last time. And so she's like, that's that girl. And then Nick had gotten a video of you as well, took pictures of you. So I bet you, she probably put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
Wow. What would you have said to her if she came to talk to you?
Well, the first hearing, we were in the bathroom alone. Well, her and her mother were in the bathroom with me alone.
They got spies in the bathroom. Everywhere you look. You're going to talk to your mother in the bathroom? They've got the farms has the spies.
I didn't say anything that time. This time, if I would have saw her, the only thing I want to say is, are you aware of what April and Nick are doing on Twitter? And if you're not, you need to be. And that I am praying for her and the kids. And I hope she leans on her family. And that's what I would say to her if I had the chance.
What do you think? What would you say to April if you could talk to her one-on-one?
Nothing.
Really?
she's where she wants to be. She's doing like, there's no reason for me to talk to April. I mean, and she doesn't have kids or anything to, like, let her do what she wants to do. But I really do hope Kayla gets.
I mean, I can understand that point of view, but I feel like the message to April should be loud and clear: get out. There is no benefit or winning scenario for April. April seems to think that she can replace Kayla and become like the man of the house. And she said this on Twitter. She said as much. She said she wants to be Mrs. Rekieta. She changed her Twitter profile to April Law, which this is stupid because Nick's last name isn't Law, Rekieta Law. That's his brand. But she wants to be Kayla. She wants to be the mom of the house. She says that she wants to be the stepmom. And it seems like that's a thing that she's repeated from Aaron's relationship, because Aaron, I believe, had kids before her and she doesn't have any kids of her own. There's no way that Nick's going to abandon the mother for her. She's just a side piece. She's an interesting distraction. And as soon as she's not interesting and this court case is gone, she's being dropped to the curb and she's going to be told to get out. And it seems like Kayla's already put her foot down and told her to fuck off. That's why allegedly they're broken up and is no longer the girlfriend, right? So April really needs to salvage what she has left of her life. Like, even if you make a mistake, even if you fuck up your life, you can always come back from it, provided you're not dead or in prison. So she needs to work to get out of the court case. Just find the easiest way out. You don't have to necessarily turn on Nick. To get out, yeah, the ape escape has to happen. We need the ape escape. Then she needs to go make her life better, whatever it is that she wants to pursue in life. She needs to get a fucking job. Stop living as like the deer hunting side slam piece that Nick only invites around when his wife's asleep or passed out watching Star Trek. And just make some, like, go find out what makes her happy, because Nick's not going to make her happy. As soon as she's outlived her usefulness, she's gone. That's the way it is.
Things together and is able to put those kids first. I mean, I hope Nick can get things together. I just don't have faith in it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
It's not even it's not even that she's a prostitute. She's just like a pet. But she's the best kind of pet, because she feeds and eats. She feeds and waters herself, and then she's just there, ready and waiting. She, by her own admission, she just waits in the house all day, waiting for Nick's call. Say, all right, booty call, wife's asleep, let's go. And then he just walks across the lawn, and she's there waiting. She does nothing else. Her entire life, her entire hobby is just waiting for that call. Chum Buns, member for 1 month, says, odds on Kayla going for a walk in the woods with April and never coming back. I think it's much higher than it should be. Like, I joke about Kayla going out and then getting caught by the deer hunter, and then April just wears Kayla's skin or some shit. I think the chances of that happening are actually a lot higher than they should be. It's kind of be concerning to me, honestly. If you've got a woman, an experienced hunter in your backyard who literally wants your position and you're treating her like a cold bitch now, yeah, I'd be concerned. April Chaney, that's what's going to happen.
I'd like to see them have like that family unit. I can't picture that happening with Nick in the picture.
Wow. So it's Nick and April. You think that's the problem is Kayla just should be with the family and stuff like that. Like, Nick and April are what's causing the problem with the family.
In my opinion. And yeah, I think I want whatever gives the kids the best, most stable life, and whatever it takes to get them that, that's what I hope happens. That means Nick goes to jail or long-term rehab or something, or even Kayla too. With my mom, some of the best times we had, or we were the closest, and the bonding was the best when we weren't even living in the same house, when it was phone calls and when she was.
So like, again, her mother was apparently a drug addict, and I believe that she was abused as a child as well.
My mom went to prison. When she was in prison, like, she was healthy, and we could actually have real conversations and connect in a way that I didn't get to connect with her, even living in the same house with her. So there is, for people who think that being taken away from your parents, if you're living with family members that are giving the kids a good life, like, that is valuable, and they'll still be able to have a relationship with their parents. And I personally enjoyed my relationship with my mother more when I didn't live with her.
You're at the courthouse. Kayla has had her num-nums, and I guess April's hungry too, or they're going to save it for dear leader, who is talking with the lawyers and such. So does Nick come out? Are you all just kind of sitting there waiting around? I mean,
so Nick's off in a conference room, and he comes out, starts walking up to them, and he comes up. The bailiff is out there, and Nick has a bottle of pop, as they call it here. I'm not from here, so I call it soda, but it was a bottle of Coke. He actually had Coke, and he said,
"He doesn't learn."
But did he do that on purpose? You think? I mean, Coke is like the #1 drink, right? Like, do you think he did it on purpose? Taking a little bit of Coke to his courtroom. I mean, there's probably like a vending machine there, and it's like the most readily available thing. It's very funny though. Not very funny, but it's funny and weird. We'll call it funny and weird.
Yeah.
And
like, you can't take that
slop.
Coke in there, or I think he said pop. You can't take that pop in there.
He said, 1 minute. Okay, I'm ready.
I found that amusing. I was like, oh, he's trying to bring Coke in the courtroom and he can't.
He really is addicted.
Yeah.
Okay, so he gets the soda, gets 86, and then it's just you 3 or 4 people, 5 with the bailiff. Like, how does that work?
Yeah, so we go in the courtroom, and the judge and lawyers went back in the judge's chambers, and me and the Kiwi farmers sat down, and then over by the door, Nick was standing with his back like towards the judge's desk, or what is that? It's not like
his seat.
His throne? The bench.
Right? Yeah, whatever that is.
His perch.
Yeah.
All right. So Adriana says, we say cola over here. Over here, like over here, we call it this.
Please give me Coke. Coke. It's Coke. It's in English. I still remember the first time I went to America. I was at the airplane. I asked flight attendants that, can I get a cola? And she asked me, excuse me? I keep saying, cola, cola, cola. But it was not cola, it was Coke. It was Coke. It's Coke, actually, right? So maybe
I haven't seen this edit of it. That's a bit too much. I wasn't prepared for that. I got jump scared by that one. Scarecrow said, scary if you realize Nick is trapped with Kayla so long as she can grape him and have custody of the kids, but wants April. Kayla versus Wild. Kayla versus Wild is pretty funny. On Bear Grylls, and we got 2 women to survive in these deer-infested woods in Minnesota. It's Kayla and April versus the Wild. Oh, man, I'd pay to see that. Hunger Games over there. It's the real Hunger Games. I mean, they're hungry. They're fighting over a fucking big salad. With 5 pounds, Ramaya says, you're being way too mean and conspiratorial. The 3 of them there will have a civil chat, and one of the women will join Mama AF and travel the world. True. That could happen as well. JF, I think there was something about JF in the news recently. Like he was leaving Quebec or something, and the cops tried to pull him over, and he was escaping with his new potato wife. I'm not sure what that is. I haven't had enough time to follow up on that yet. Well, all right, let's see what we're about halfway through this.
Not a pulpit like a preacher, but yeah.
It's bench.
There you go. I think
yeah,
that's
bench.
The bench. Approach the bench.
Yeah. So Nick had his back to there, and the 2 girls, they were kind of like standing in a triangle, but looking down at the floor a lot. They were talking to each other, but not loud enough for us to hear. And it was weird. There was a weird, awkward tension. It would get real quiet, like to where, nobody was saying a word.
So you were outside of the courtroom, just sitting there waiting on the lawyers to do their job, or?
We were in the courtroom at this point. We came in.
So all you guys are in there. So could you talk to each other while you were there? Like you just say, hey, Nick, what's going on? Like, could you do that? And it'd be okay? Like they would be like, silence the judges, or you know what I mean?
No. The bailiff stood by the door, right outside the door. And there was nobody else in there but the 5 of us. And yeah, because the judge and the lawyers were behind the door in the judge's chambers. So yeah, it was weird. We could have totally said something to them. But
next one, girl, that's what you have to do. You have to talk to these people. Don't be afraid. Talk to them. All they can do is not talk back.
Will's gonna get this woman murdered. He's like, yeah, you should go up and harass Nick. Go up and call him a pussy. Let's see what happens. I don't know about that, Miss K. She's probably doing the right thing. Just be a quiet observer. While it would be, don't get me wrong, it'd be very funny to see her taunt Nick in the courtroom and see him seethe. Not a good idea. Like, let's take a step back from the internet insanity for a second and just remember that we do live in a society. Don't touch the
I
cows.
don't have
Exactly.
anything to say to Nick or April. I really don't.
You don't have to have anything to say to him. Just say something to him. Just have him say something back to you. Like, hey, Nick, nice shirt. You know what I mean? And just see what he says. I know that's tacky, but like you can say something and see what he does back to you, you know? Same with like all of them, any of them. Just
She should go up to Nick and be like, where did you get those clothes? The toilet shop? And then just don't say anything and leave the courtroom and see what happens.
Get a response.
I don't have any desire to talk to the two. Like, and I told you what I would say to Kayla.
Yeah. And so basically there to like, so
right,
in this, are you like with
funny.
Kayla kind of thing? Like, if you were to be sitting on the
This
side
one's
of
actually
the court, would you see like on Kayla's side? Like,
I mean, if there was a side, and I'm not saying that I think Kayla is like innocent in this and that she's like a victim or like, no, she's culpable and she participated in all of it. Just she is the mother to those 5 kids, and if anybody has a chance, I think it's her to turn this around. I think it's her, and I can honestly see with a husband like Nick how she might have ended up in the place where she was at. According, I never watched Nick. I've only gone back and seen clips and stuff now. I had never seen Kayla on the show until after they got arrested and stuff, and I've gone back to see clips. But I can see how a woman could be worn down, especially hearing how he talked about her body being destroyed. And if that's what he's willing to say to his public, humongous audience, imagine what he says to her in private.
So for context, what's happening here is Nick was drunk on a stream, and he was talking about how having 5 kids makes your wife's body absolutely destroyed. He was drunk. I can't remember the exact quote. Somebody has the clip, but it's really like embarrassing and disgusting to actually hear about the wife, allegedly the love of your life, mother of your 5 children, and he's just like, yeah, my wife's body is fucking gross. Her pussy's all blown out. She's had 5 kids. It's like a hot dog in a hallway down. Like, what the fuck? Don't say that about your wife. Like, she sacrificed to bring those people into the world. Like, holy shit. Just don't talk about your wife online. I think that's cavernous. I don't know why this made me laugh. It's grim. It's just I think it's the juxtaposition of like the grimmest face and just grim. It's like cavernous. Hello.
I can see how she might get
very
worn
rude,
down
very
and
rude chat.
narcissistic tendencies, and her just wanting to please her husband, and him, it not being good enough, and like I can see where that would wear on somebody, where they might want to take drugs to numb and whatever, and that doesn't excuse neglecting the kids. So
do you think it's to numb or to please him?
Probably both. Maybe to please him at first, and then realize that, wait, then I don't have to feel all those feelings I was feeling. That kind of helps, and that became easier. I'm just speculating, but I can totally see how that could happen. And I 100% think that's why April's in the picture, or why they've gone down this path. I've read that people believe that she's the one who initiated this lifestyle, and I don't believe that for a second.
Right, you think it was Nick, and then saw the opportunity to have an April, and I guess she just is. I'm not afraid, but maybe afraid to say no, or is that the proper word? What do you think?
I think she probably she's afraid to lose him, and she wants to do whatever it takes to keep him, and she may.
I think like just looking at April for a second. April kind of has a pattern, and she's like a branch swinging monkey who only goes up, and that's why April can't leave Nick. Is that she met Aaron, who is a small-time radio host, small show, but he does all great. He gets money at least. I mean, for all I make fun of Aaron saying he begs too much, he seems to meet his goal, right? So she was like dating an small-town internet celebrity, and then she got a taste of the action herself. But then she suddenly gets introduced to this guy who's a much bigger channel, hundreds of thousands of subscribers. At one point, the biggest live streamer on YouTube, 100,000 concurrent viewers. So the only man that she can go to now, she can't go down. She can't go date, she can't go down to Kurt's channel or something, right? Because he's only got 100,000. Like you can't go down. So the only way that April will leave Nick is if she finds someone with like 1 million subscribers or something. She can only go up because even though her value And I don't think this is personally like, I don't think it's actually her value, but this is how she perceives her value. As her value is decreasing, as she's getting older and more like deer trodden, I suppose, from deer hunting in Nick's backyard, she can only aspire to go higher. So it's these two different angles in what she has and what she wants, which is competing. So that's why she'll never leave the Rekieta until she's forced out by being evicted from the house she's currently living in. Cybertaz with the 5 says, a killer nanny would make a good straight-to-video movie. April in the star in the movie, and the hand that rocks the cradle too, that hoe that cucks the toe. That's pretty good. The hoe that cucks the toe. I like that one. But everyone knows the inevitable biopic of April is going to be called Coming in April.
Even think it was her idea, because I think he's manipulative enough to make her think it was her idea. I see through Nick. I don't know that there is any helping Nick. I really don't know if there. I think his mask came off, and that's who he's been at it for the whole time. That's my opinion.
Well, okay, so you guys are all hanging out in the courtroom. You're waiting on more procedural stuff to go down. The Kiwi farmer is just doing their thing. Did they even acknowledge you at all? Like,
we still don't have confirmation Nick ever fucked April. I guess that's technically correct. But he definitely stuck his balls in her. Scarecrow with another 5. Thank you for the support. Big support today. Says, best for Nick to get a sentence of 3 months. Victims need to be separated and reassert themselves from Nick's parents as well. Enablers. I don't know if that's necessarily the case. I would think that being put in prison would surely snap him into reality. I would like to see a no prison version of this outcome, because I have $20 riding on the case, and I want to keep my $20.
Did you guys have a conversation?
Nick, Kayla, and April walked into the courtroom, and the two of us were back a little bit, and I looked at them and said, "Are you reporting too?" And they said yes, and I was like, "Okay, cool." And then we walked in. We sat by each other,
nice.
One chair.
Maybe the real court case was the friends we made all along, eh? While waiting for Nick to come out and get his deal.
Separating us.
Suffer $20. Yeah, exactly. I'm suffering.
So yeah, we didn't.
Not feeling so good. $20
have
bros.
A little discussion walking out of the courthouse, but.
So inside the courtroom, so does like Nick sit in the middle, and then like Kayla and April on each side, or was like
they never
shunned? Like
they never sat down. They stayed standing. They were talking.
What is that noise? Well, my leg was stiff, chat, and I had to rub it so that it was. I was trying to rub my leg, so because it was painful, and that's why I was grimacing as well.
Like I said, we could not hear them, but there was an awkwardness. And at one point, Kayla reaches up and puts her hand on. Oh, I forgot. When we first got in there and we first sat down, he goes and gives Kayla a hug, and then he goes and gives April a hug. And then, then they stood in that like triangle. And then
I wanted to hear that he goes and gives April a hug and a kiss, and then he gives Kayla a firm handshake. That's what I wanted to hear. That would have been too funny. She should have lied and just said that, because the funnier alternative is always the true alternative. That would have been really funny. Goes in, kisses April, gives Kayla a handshake. Hey, honey. I'm sorry. I find that very funny. A fist bump, that'd be pretty good. Oh, dear. JB Behemoth with 2 says, catching up Mr. Magoo comments are very funny and true. Thank you very much. I think it is very funny. And Scarebro with another 2 says, temp jail gets Kayla away from Nick's mind games. Yeah, maybe, but I still think that it's better for the kids not to be separated from their parents. They've already been apart for 77 days. I know a lot of people don't want them around them because they think that they can't be parents anymore. I think that's not the case. I think that it's rare. It's certainly rare that a drug addict can get back to being a good parent, but it's not impossible. And I want to believe in the happy ending.
They were there for a while, 5-10 minutes, talking while we're just sitting there waiting. And at one point I look up and Kayla has her hand on Nick. It was kind of awkward. She just kept it there. Nick never acknowledged that her hand was there. I kept seeing April look and look away, look and look away. And Kayla just kept like almost like claiming her territory. It felt like and April looked very uncomfortable with
Yeah,
that.
drop something in my glass.
Did it look like April belonged in the
My
group
mistake.
type thing? Or was like how does this dynamic look? Like how does it feel like? You know what I'm saying? Like you see.
Yeah, that's true. There's no happy endings in this. The only happy ending is in the Twin Cities, according to Nick.
People that are like together, like they're together. But in this situation, like it seems like Kayla's wanting to be with her man, and then there's this other foreign body kind of on the side. Like, how is that dynamic?
I saw this question brought up, but so Deez, I think someone else asked this as well. Are you going to cover the casino being felted, or are you janning it up? My thoughts on this is that I don't really care, and that's because if I go to my bathroom and I look in the toilet and I see a piece of shit in there, it's not great, but I can live with it, right? But if I go into the kitchen and there's just shit on my table, now I've got a problem. Like, if you tell me that Andy Worski and was having a coke-fueled bender in Vegas, I'm not surprised. Maybe I'm a little bit disappointed, but I don't necessarily think this means that he's been lying about being sober. I think Ashton posted a video, PPP, or as people are calling him now, PPP Diddy, which is very funny, by the way. I think he posted something today. Do you guys want to see that? Do you guys want to see that video? I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it's degenerate as fuck, but they're both single guys. I don't really care too much about it. I think they should just get on and do their show and make people laugh, and they'll be fine. People want to see the video? The one on Ashton's. Do you guys want to? All right. Do you guys want to watch that? Well, watch the end of this. This is a Nick theme stream. We'll go back to it. With the actual Vegas story though, like I feel like 80% of it's probably true. Like, did they have a $20,000 vacation to Vegas? I bet that's true. Did they lose money in Vegas? I bet that's true. Did they have coke and alcohol? I bet that's true. Did somebody have hookers? I bet that's true. But the part of the story was like 5 Medica masochists for 5 black hookers, like that part of the story. I feel like that's exaggerated. That seems like fantasy to me. Like they all like show up in the hall or some shit. It was Vegas. I mean, maybe. Like that's the thing. That's the thing is like I want to say that like the 5 hookers showing up is just fantasy make believe. But then again, the sector, you never know. You never know. But if you guys want to watch Ashton's video, I guess we could maybe watch it at the end of the stream, at the end of this video.
It just felt awkward. It didn't feel cohesive. Yeah, I get the impression that Kayla's not wanting to let go, and April's not wanting to let go, and I think Nick wants April, but is shackled by Kayla.
Wow, that's.
I'll put a vote. I'll put a vote up.
Heavy.
How about that?
So you guys are in the courtroom. They're standing up in their triangle, awkward poses. You guys are just sitting there taking notes. The judge and the lawyer comes back. What else happens while you guys are waiting? Like, how does that go down?
Yeah, they finally come out, and everybody starts filing out of the courtroom. And we're just sitting there, and we look at each other, and we're like, okay. And Nick went to walk. He walked out, and then he turned around and motioned like this. And I didn't know if he was motioning to them. It almost felt like he was motioning for us. And I said to the other person, I was like, "You do that to us?" Yeah. And so they went out. I didn't see where they went by the time we left the doors. But the bailiff was standing there, and me and the other person were like looking at each other, going, "What's going on? What do we do? Where are we going?" And we asked the bailiff, and he said, "It's over." And we're like, "What?" And he said, "Yeah, it's over." I said, "Well, what happened?" And he said, "Well, they had a closed conference, or I can't remember the exact phrase, closed chamber conference or something like that."
Like back room. The back. They disappeared into the back rooms. That's what happened.
Well, what happened? And he's like, "Well, I don't know. I wasn't in there." And I was like, "Okay." So yeah, that was it. It was over. And like I said, I had assumed that it wasn't going to be open before. That's why I called the courthouse in the first place to double check. But I did think that they were going to come back after they came to whatever agreement or whatever negotiations they were making. I thought at the end they were come and say something after the negotiations were over. But
like Nick accepts the plea or whatever deal is made, like Nick accepts it or denies it, and then they set a court date. Is what like we were waiting for.
Yeah. I never expected them to sit there and try to negotiate in front of us or anything. But yeah, I thought they would come in and give a statement on the record of what to do from here.
Yeah.
But that happened. So.
Wow. Okay, so I assume you leave the courtroom because you're here now. You guys, last time, Nick, and I didn't jump you, but like he kind of popped out of the blue and was like recording you. Were you worried about that happening again? Were you ready? Like we talked about this? What happened?
Yeah, I said to the other person, I was like, last time Nick ran downstairs and recorded me as I was coming out. So we have to be ready. That might happen. And
I feel like it wasn't gonna I feel like it wasn't gonna happen again because like Nick got so embarrassed last time that he ran out to do the recording that it would just be the shame of it all.
That was not the case. So yeah, got down there and we talked a little bit. Oh, we stopped at the metal detector, the guy that's running the metal detector, and I asked about tomorrow's court hearing. And I asked if that's going to be open to the public. What is that? And he said, no, that's going to be a phone conference.
Oh,
so I don't think Nick even has to show up to the courthouse tomorrow.
That's an interesting. Would that be live stream then? Like when they say phone conference, they almost certainly mean Zoom conference. So is the Monty case going to be Zoom? Is that going to be streamed? Because that's in the civil court, so he still owes $300 to Montagraph.
Oh wow. Okay. So you and the Kiwi farmer were talking. You said
just a little tiny bit. I said, did I miss anything before I got there? And they said no. Just some awkward exchanges between Kayla and April.
Wow. What was the Kiwi farmer person like? I mean, you don't have to describe him or anything like that. I'm not trying to dox him, but like, were they just like a regular person? Like, I remember Ethan said a bunch of terrible things about him. I think I saw some video of them a while back, but like,
totally normal. Yeah, totally normal.
Just a normal, regular person, just regular, like you, just showing up to see what was going on.
Exactly.
Yep. Did they share the notes? Did you check the notes out?
I saw them online when I got home.
Were you in the notes? Were they like, this bitch was talking to me, I don't like her?
No.
Okay, she should have. That'd have been a better story. Okay, so so you guys leave the courtroom, and I think you said you get in your vehicle, and then there's more to this story. Like, what else happened?
So yeah, I went out to my car and I checked out Breaking Baldo News right away, and they had
Breaking Baldo News. I talk to him every now and then.
Oh my goodness, Rekieta, Breaking Baldo on Twitter. He's getting too powerful, too big for his britches. Nah, he's a good guy. He retweeted my stream today. Actually, I mean he usually does, but it's so funny how much feltoning this guy has caused to Nick in particular.
He's a real nice person. Been very nice to me. I don't know. He's been with other people. I'm not trying to divide, but Baldo has always been cool to me. So there you go. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I was still confused about what was going on, and they actually had the next court date. They knew more than I did, and I was at the courthouse. So, and I said that actually before me and the Kiwi farmer went our separate ways. We were confused. We were trying to remember what the bailiff said, the exact wording of what, and neither one of us could remember what he said. But then right as we were getting ready to separate, I was like, oh, Breaking Baldo News. And I read it out loud. But I was like, oh, I guess there's another court date on December 17th. And yeah, we both like kind of giggled and went our separate ways.
This is so funny. This is like bringing people together in friendship. It's like a flower growing out of a pot of dirt. Isn't that special?
So you told me you're driving and then you like get behind April or something like that. Like what?
Okay, no. So I stayed outside checking some things out, and I got a phone call that I had to take. And while I was sitting there on the phone, they came out of the courthouse. They went across the street to their vehicles. And April went to her truck. I mean, I couldn't see. There was a building in the way, so I couldn't see them when they got in their vehicles. So I didn't see if anybody was hugging or anything like that. But April came out in her truck. And then Kayla and Nick came out in their car, their Lincoln Navigator.
A nice car.
And
was it like $90,000?
So I don't know. So the rumor about April not having a license, I don't think that's true. And then the rumor that Nick might have lost his license might be true.
Like, what is this about Nick losing his license? Like, is there actually more to that? Like, or is it just that Kayla was driving? Is that the only? Oh my goodness, the Fs. Yes, post the Fs. It's midnight in Japan, and the neighbors turned off the Wi-Fi. They told me to go to bed. No, just a regular toe swats. Yes, the toes striked me again. All the people. All right, we'll continue.
Speeding tickets and stuff like that,
Is the
right?
audio
I assume
still
that's what
working?
that is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I do homework before I go in.
So back.
So yeah, I was reading all the different theories and stuff, and yeah, I saw those things just to know what to look out for, and you know, what do people want to know? And,
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Yeah, that's one of the theories out there, and yeah, so Kayla was driving.
Wow. So again, you said they looked defeated, like all of them looked defeated.
Driving?
What do you mean by that? I kind of want to go over that one more time.
Well, last hearing, he seemed more defiant, and like just that. I don't know. It's like a pent up aggression. He seemed to have. Like, he was just holding back, like he could have burst at any moment. Is how I felt last hearing. This time, the vibe was much more subdued. A lot of looking at the floor. All three of them looking at the floor a lot. To me, it looked like the girls had been crying like recently, especially April.
Puffy eyes,
the other
just like their vaginas.
They thought the same thing.
Vaginas.
Wow.
I thought something productive could come of it. I would, but I just don't see anything productive coming from talking to Nick or April. I mean, they seem to be very set, and I don't think anything I say or do is going to change anything. So I don't see the benefit of it. Now Kayla, who knows what she's thinking since she stays offline, and you know, but it does seem like she's determined to stay.
So
just loading up the next
Kayla
content.
and Nick look like a couple, or did April and Nick look like a couple? You know what I'm saying?
It seemed like an awkward throuple.
So it looked like they were all together, like that they're a group, that they are together.
I mean,
the real question is, so April obviously loves Nick. Does Kayla love Nick, or does she just hate April at this point in their love triangle?
The time I saw them all together was standing there in the courtroom. So I saw the little interaction with Kayla and April, and they stayed on opposite sides of the hall.
It's worth noting that April doesn't come to Kayla's court hearings, just to Nick's.
So they did not seem like they were together.
So when Nick was inside the courtroom and stuff like that, and you guys were outside of it, they didn't talk to each other, they didn't hang out with each other, they didn't do anything together or react or anything like that?
No, there was the interaction about the food, and then Kayla walked down the hall, put the food somewhere, and then came back, and when she did, she stood against this wall facing April. April stood against this wall, so they were on opposite walls.
Wow.
And it didn't really talk that I heard.
Right, you would think they'd be next to each other, hanging out with each other like a solid unit, going to court together, but no, they were separate.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild. Did they look healthy?
You know, I don't know if they were tired or, you know, this is all weighing on them. Weight wise,
are they fat?
yeah, I guess. I know April's always been thin, yeah, Kayla looked. I don't know if it was the outfit or what. She looked a little thinner than the last hearing. Again, might have been people's comments about her.
She's got to stay competitive. April's getting thin, eating salads all day. She's got to up her game. It's competitive over there.
Yeah,
that's why Nick keeps her around. Got to keep her on a game.
Did Nick touch him? Like, did he put his arm around any of them? Like you said, Kayla kind of claimed him. Did he put his arm around any one of them other than the hug?
Oh yeah, not after the hug. No.
Wow.
He was standing like with his arms crossed, and Kayla was putting her hand up on his elbow for quite a while.
Wow.
April stood back and just down, back over, down. Yeah, she looked uncomfortable with that.
All right, Kay, well, it seems like you've said everything that you...
All right, that seems like the end of the interview. So that's on Will Heron's TV's Will Heron. Sorry, I'm getting a bit sleepy. I was going to go to bed, but people demand that they want to watch the PPP Diddy clip. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look what they say. Are they going to deny the rumors? Are they going to confirm the rumors? The rumors, as it stands, what I read was there was a $25,000 swinging party in Vegas, black hookers, losing money in gambling and partying. I'm going to, like I said at the beginning, I don't really care because, again, Warski was an ex-coke addict. Doesn't surprise me he'd party in Vegas. Ashton has shown his butthole on the internet. Again, doesn't surprise me that there's two single guys. They might have a party at someone else's expense. People are thinking it's like it's ogre. It's not the same. It's nowhere near the same as destroying your family of 5. Now, don't get me wrong. If it's true, it's very funny. It's very funny if true. But what I'm saying is, I don't really care. I'm still going to watch their show unless it turns out that they're actually, I guess, they have to be pretty bad people for me to stop finding them entertaining. But let's see what they have to say. Maybe they'll confirm everything. Maybe they'll deny everything. Let's take a look.
Time for the great sweepening.
Let's watch this a little bit faster because I do want to go to bed. So 1.25. It's only 7 minutes. So we'll be out in like 5 minutes, provided I don't pause it at all.
Casino sweepening of 2024. We gotta swab the decks. We gotta sweep it up, Jan. Clean it up, boy. Clean it up, Jan. Woo, boy.
What song is this playing in the background?
Big load of shit we gotta clean off the floor this time. Tardsky and the Discord pay pigs have forced me to fucking dual wield the brooms this time with full fucking dust bucket attachment or whatever the fuck there. Dab it on myself there. Fuck. It's tough there, folks. We're gonna have to ring a big card bell.
I did see one comment where someone said that Ashton should have just uploaded a 10-minute video with no talking and just ringing the tard bell for 10 solid minutes and then just end the video and not say anything and then never address the allegations. That would have been really funny. I would have liked to have seen that.
The entire casino there, folks. Big tard bell for the whole casino there. It's time to practice what we preach there. I talked about being the hammer. Talked about being the nail. Well, today I'm going to be both as I bust out the broom, the mighty golden broom of Shannon Gaines. Folks, what can you even fucking say? How retarded I was there to actually attend a meetup of pay pigs. Something I
Okay, so first of all, the meetup was real. So that's what we know first of all. Meetup was real. They met up with pay pigs in Vegas.
Against for you. Never do the meetup. never have these kappa, but I did it.
Now, I'll just go on to say that I don't think there's anything wrong with having meetups. Perhaps in the sector, though, because the people in the sector are a little bit different than your average people. Maybe it's a good idea, avoiding the parasocial relationships. But I've met up with people from that have watched my show or have watched my other channels, and they've been pretty entertaining. Like, I haven't really had any problems with any of them so far.
We partied in Las Vegas. We partied fucking hard, folks. Partied hard. It was Las Vegas with Warski. What did you think it was going to be, folks? But I never truly knew how felt that it was really going to be until I walk into the suite at the Bellagio and I see this 5'1" fucking Mexican.
Hey, look. Hey, look. There was at least one girl that came with a group of men. Okay. You know what really, all right, you know, I gotta grind my gears a little bit here. Every time someone from the internet says like, hey, I'm gonna be visiting to Japan, do you want to meet up? I can buy you a drink, sort of thing. I'm like, yeah, sure, great. They never buy their own drinks. They never buy me the drinks. They always like, we always go to a bar or something. I usually take them to my favorite place, Torikizuku, which is like, it's just like cheap beer and fried chicken. And they're always like, oh, I'll pay for dinner or something. I always end up paying my own beer. I always pay for myself. This is bullshit. Where is my $20,000 Vegas weekend? What is going on here? What is going on here? This is ridiculous. I'm suffering over here. I'm eating like hand to mouth. I have to pay for my own beer. I have to pay for my own chicken wings. This is ridiculous.
Gremlin looking dude in a fucking Crusader helm telling me that he's the savior of the white race. I'm looking at his skin. I'm like, this guy's looking mighty brown to be as racist as he is. You know,
that's a funny thing. That's also because a very interesting observation is that so many white supremacists on the internet are all brown. It is really funny. In fact, like it's actually kind of there was like a Reddit meetup versus the poll meetup, and the Reddit meetup is all just like fat white chicks or fat white guys, and then the poll meetup, like the politically incorrect racist board from 4chan, is like every color of the rainbow. It's funny how diverse white supremacists are. It's more diverse than even a Disney movie. It's crazy.
About Deus Volts and Crusades and the blind. Whoa. Got this 5'1" gremlin Mexican talking about how.
So like this guy is like an Iron War Hat or something. I don't know who these people are.
He's a Rizzler and shit. Mind you, all the bitches this Mexican gremlin was rizzling were prostitutes.
I think the guy, the 5'1" Mexican, is the one that leaked the story though. So it sounds a lot to me that like I said, like I think 80% of the story is true, and then a lot of it of the remaining 20% of the details kind of sound like a ex-girlfriend that's been spurned, and they're kind of just trying to like throw shit to try and do as much damage as they can. Honestly.
Okay, so that's Iron, the Mexican gremlin, fucking Deus Volt helm wearing pretend Rizzler. Okay, who wants to? I'm an innocent child of God. Buddy, stop it. You're a fucking Mexican gremlin, buddy. Okay? I'll just get to it right now. Did we party? Yes. Did we drink? Yes. Did we drink? Yes. Was there some insane orgy of fucking black prostitutes? 5 fucking black shabunesses or something? No. This is all fan fiction from the mind of a Mexican gremlin, buddy.
So, regardless, I think... So you've got now it's just he shed versus he shed. Like I said, I don't think the 5 black hookers in the one room when they're like if you're not familiar with the story, because I did read about it, they were basically saying that like Andy was like holding the prostitute's legs apart while some guy was losing his virginity. I'm sorry, I don't believe that. That sounds too. Now then again, it is the sector, so you never know, right? But that sounds a bit too crazy. As like you're going in, and you got Andy Warski in the background going, whoa, buddy, he's losing his virginity. Let's fucking go. Whoa, buddy. Medic and masochist for 5 black hookers. Like, I'm sorry. That sounds a bit too ridiculous. Now, it is the sector, and I've been wrong before, so who could say? But I'm sure there was degeneracy there, and I'm sure that at least one of the people or a few of the people that got hookers. Wouldn't surprise me. Doing coke and everything wouldn't surprise me. But again, they're single people partying in Vegas. They're not. Well, I don't know. Like, I guess one guy was married. It's not like they've got kids at home or anything. It's totally different. And it's not like they're lying about who they were, because they even said on their show that they've had their own degenerate acts. Like I said, it's like the toilet. If you see a shit in your toilet, no problem. You see a shit on your kitchen table, now you've got a problem. I don't think they've really pretended to be squeaky clean. Now, PPP does do a lot of preach talk, like he does talk a lot about the Bible, but that's in relation to how Rekieta was pretending to be a man of God. So I don't see it as hypocrisy, but I guess I'm just sweeping it up. Maybe, who can say?
Okay. Then we've got Kryler.
I mean, it's not even that Andy admits to being an addict. He's a recovering addict. He used to be called Cokeski. For 2 years, he was on a coke bender. I did see some people say that this means that he was lying about being sober. I heard that this party was over a year ago, so maybe they went sober after this party. So that could match up. I'd like to give him the benefit of the doubt. But I mean, I do like the casino, though. I think it's a very entertaining show. I usually listen to it while I'm working. So that is my bias, if I'm being honest.
What can you even say? It's some guy crying because Andy Worski wouldn't play video games with him. Whoa. Buddy, you're a drug addict. You're spiraling. Your girlfriend killed herself in front of you because she couldn't stand you.
It's pretty rough. This is pretty harsh, though.
Andy didn't want to play video games with you, so you go off the fucking deep end. Like, okay. Now, as for what's actually...
Iron Rabbit for 11 months, though. Thank you for covering this and the humor. You're welcome. I'm glad you enjoy it. Thanks for being a member.
Fucked. Medicare masochist, who was present in Las Vegas, paid $24,000 for the suite.
Okay, so that's confirmed as well. Like, literally one guy spent $24,000 on this trip alone. And this is their biggest donor as well. So I think this guy spent like over $100,000 on their show, which is, I mean, where's my $100,000? Come on now, chat. No, but that is pretty crazy. That is insane.
That's real, okay? Fucking degenerate, fucking gambler probably lost another $15,000, lost his ass playing Pai Gong, okay?
The fuck is Pai Gong?
It's not so funny because he's a sussy freak. This guy was our top donor for like the first year of the show. After Las Vegas, he didn't have so much money. He lost everything in Las Vegas. Fuck.
So he got sucked dry. He literally got sucked dry for this trip. That's very sad.
And he hasn't really been donating that much.
Step it up, Brokey.
But he turned out to be a sussy fucking freak. I didn't know. Just because you party with the guy at the Bellagio suite, I can't mind read his porn history, okay? Just because...
Wait, what's this about the porn history? Does anyone have info on this?
Some guy gives me money on the show doesn't mean I'm going to go into his fucking Steam profile and Google his username to cross-reference it with funny junk. Which the fact he was posting...
People are saying lolly? Oh, okay. That's a shame. Because I did enjoy the Medica Masochist meme. Medica Masochist for 50. Like, I guess we'll have to retire that meme. That's unfortunate. That was a very infectious one, unfortunately. So I guess it's going to be shelved back to the it keeps happening. How can we keep losing all the good memes? It keeps happening.
On funny junk is almost worse than the sussy lolly shit, in my opinion. Holy fuck, he should be boiled alive for using that site alone. But he was into some... It turns out, yes, he's in all this sussy, sick fucking shit. I messaged him. Let me read you directly what I sent this fucking bum. Holy fucking shit. If I can get the mouse here before I blocked him forever. I said, good job, you dirty fucking pedophile. I hope you legitimately die. I hope your wife divorces you and you die of cancer in the gutter, you pedophile F-slur. Go play in traffic. We're not going to...
I mean, they've got his money now. They may as well tell him, fuck you. He's not donating anymore, so you may as well throw him to the curb, right? Like, that's the way to do it.
Tolerate sick fucks, no matter how much money they give, no matter how long they've been around. He is fucking gone. I hope he dies. The sick suspect mind of this guy. And that's it. So, we partied in Las Vegas. met up with a bunch of people shouldn't have fucking met up with. I argued against it.
No refunds. Yeah, I mean that is the policy. You don't refund them. I wouldn't even suggest that they should. I just think that is funny. That is just funny that they got to suck him dry, then kick him to the curb after he's exposed.
As far as all of these depraved, insane stories, like, people are gonna believe what they want to believe whatever's funniest. It is
It's true.
what it is. To quote the ultimate broom sweeping cope. I guess that's it. It's addressed.
All right, so is that everything, or wait?
Are we gonna let that eat PPP piss in all our mouths?
There's a little bit more
Clean it
dancing.
up, boy. Clean it up. Clean it up, jam.
All right, that was a good frame though. I wanted to end on that frame. Yeah. So, like I said, my opinion hasn't really changed much. It sounds like about 80% of the story was true, and I think your opinion on it is going to largely depend on what you think about the casino. If you like the casino, you'll like them and you watch their show. If you don't like the casino, you'll think this is like it's a crazy sort of situation. That is the end of the casino. No, it's not. Like realistically, I think they handled it pretty well. If they just go back and put on a show and be entertaining again, people are going to keep watching it. People are going to keep donating. And there's so much more drama going on that's more interesting that I think people will forget this pretty quickly. Don't get me wrong. It is funny and it is embarrassing. But it's not quite the bullet that I think people said it was. And again, if it'd be different, like if Andy was a father with 5 kids, if Ashton was a father with 5 kids, it'd be different. But I don't really care too much about it, honestly. And that it is what it is. So there you go. There you go. We had a look at it, right? I do think what was funny is that people don't seem to understand the word cuckold because they're so like brain dead. Someone was saying that like because in the extended story I saw, which is like the original, like a crazy like Godwinson version story of it, it's like Ashton's in the corner recording as Warski's like fucking like he's like ringing a tard bell while Andy's like plugging away at this black hooker or something. Like that wouldn't make them cuckolds. That would make them voyeurs. Like people completely forgotten the meaning of the word. Like, unless Ashton was dating a black prostitute, he's not a cuckold. He's just a voyeur. But again, a lot of these people are so brain dead that they're looking for any way to try and get back at the casino. So I think that's a lot of it. Apparently, the casino is back at 8 p.m., 8:30 tonight. So there you go. There you go. You can see their first show back. Did they cancel shows because of this? Like I said, I was away for a couple of days. I know I didn't see any shows, but did they say that they were canceling shows because of this? Or is it just because there was nothing to do? Because they go days without shows anyway. But I guess you can address their comments there. I'll probably be watching. Aim was hilarious. Well, yeah, like if you think about the amount of things that Andy has done, like this isn't even that surprising. Like, I don't know if people like he used to be called Andy Race Warski. He used to set his nipples on fire with a cigarette lighter. He spent 2 years in Coke ski. Like Andy's got so many nicknames, and like they call him the retarded phoenix because he always fails, but then he always recovers from it. So like in I don't know too much about Ashton's past, except I do know that he showed his bunghole on the internet. So again, if you were looking to the Kino Casino to be your like arbiters of morality, you kind of get what you deserve, I suppose. But when I heard that there was like a Vegas party, I was like, yeah, I can totally believe that. But like the rest of the story was a little bit exaggerated, especially because I think it comes, like I say, I think it's that Iron Wolf guy or whatever. Iron Wolf Helmet, is that his name? So in his story, he goes to the hotel. They have all the degeneracy, but then he leaves when the hookers show up. He's like, well, I left when the hookers were coming up. But then he knows the entire story from inside the room with the hookers while he was down in the bar picking up tens. So again, it sounds Iron Wolf Spear. Sorry, Iron Wolf Spear. Maybe he needs to be Iron Wolf Helmet because he's retarded. But it sounds like a jealous sort of ex-girlfriend sort of story. But again, it sounds like 80% of it. Like I'll be honest, more of it sounds true than I thought it was. I guess Ashton confirmed like the $25,000 was real, which seems insane that you would drop $25,000 to buy some friends. Like I thought that Nick dropping $100 on Melton. Wait, where's that thing? Like Nick dropping $100 on Melton to pay Melton to be his friend. I thought that was cringe. But $25,000 for a weekend? I mean, what can you say? All right, guys, that's it for me. I'll leave you with this brief English lesson. We'll probably be back tomorrow. Depends. If there's more documents tomorrow for the civil case, then we'll do a show tomorrow. Maybe we'll do something else. There you go. One friend, please. We got some new members tonight. Big support for the show tonight. I will go over to the community tab and add a new link to the Discord. Even though we just learned a story about not adding people on Discord, whatever. It's not like a sussy Discord or anything. It's just people basically making fun of me because I added emojis to all the channels. Fucking wow. People are really mad about that, apparently. Peace, guys. Have a fun one. Back tomorrow, probably. And peace.
Please give me cock. Cock. It's cock. It's in English. I still remember the first time I went to America. I was at the airplane. I asked flight attendants that, can I get a cola? And she asked me, excuse me? I keep saying, cola, cola, cola. But it was not cola. It was cock. It was cock. It's cock, actually, right? So maybe a few Korean people could understand if you just say cock. But most people